Are we live? Okay, good. I guess we need to start this show. Okay, we're live. I'm going to start the show because who cares, right? It's all just a fun and games until someone gets hurt, right? Right now, everything's not doing so well for me. I was trying to stream. I was going to do anime night tonight, but it's canceled because due to the fact I've been having issues with Kick, and I don't know why Kick is doing that. I don't mind Kick. Kick's okay. It's just there's been a lot of things that are happening right now. Lately, the anime community is okay. It's just I'm kind of concerned about what's going on right now. A lot of people are not happy with what has been happening with the anime community. So let me go ahead and talk about this because there's been some things that happened with the anime community. There's been attacks on the anime community. There's been crazy shit that happened due to a shooter that was a fan of an indie VTuber known as Kirsha. Keep in mind, a lot of people are talking about this situation because there's been a lot of things that happen. Now, is it bad? Well, for some reason, it seems like this person, this shooter, had a background, really sad situation with this shooter. A lot of people are upset with this shooter because the shooter was pretty, autistic, not to be mean to the guy, but this person was an historical LARPer into Nazi history, but to find out this person's also a V-chatter and a gooner. Well, it kind of into the whole, RP sex thing that happens in in virtual chat. Yeah, VChat was a very popular thing back in the early in 2020s because VChat kind of had its own little VChatter was actually VChat was a very fun software until VChat became a thing. And it's no joke. VChatter, an AI-driven desktop pet application user to upload custom character models and interact with them in various ways. Yeah, that's another thing that happened. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Whoops. VChat is this thing I'm going to show you because I'm going to show you the VChat. VR chat was a very popular thing. This guy was a VChat enthusiast. It was a growing community back in the days, but I went into it was 2017. I got into it around 2018, tried it out, couldn't get into it. It was just not fun. I couldn't really talk to anybody, couldn't really say anything, couldn't find any interesting servers to chat with people. And it was interesting. Yeah. And this thing was actually very popular among a lot of people, enjoying themselves, talking to other people, doing anime stuff. But the guy was a severe gooner in that thing. Now, This is what Kiwi Farms investigated about this person, and Kirsha kind of read the dossier about this person. Now, I shared this out there because people should be aware that this person who killed a bunch of people, not just one person, but killed two politicians. And right now they're blaming Kirsha and also Pippa. The problem with Pippa is that Pippa makes the joke about shooting up a Walmart. And it's not a big deal. It's just a joke that she kind of did. Like, there's like several jokes on YouTube that she had done before. Let me see if I can look it up here, because the fact that Anna Valence, aka Anal Violence, people are kind of talking about this after Pippa. Now the femboy war continues. Yes, the whole AI art femboy situation is ridiculous. Now, journalist sarcastically strikes back. Now, this is another thing that happened. And I hate the ads on this thing, but I have to deal with it.
At Grainger, we have over 1 million products, including the ones that help keep your workplace.
So we'll listen to Kirsha and what she has to say.
Anal Violence, not one to pass up an opportunity, said, I saw the news about the No King's arrest and I can only discuss one of the VTubers for obvious reasons. I decided to clear the air on how I personally feel about her. I'm going to turn off quote retweets and comments as I don't have anything else to say. I respect disagreement on this. I hope people understand where I'm coming from and the importance of the distinction in the goals and aims of a creator. Shock jock content versus content aiming for political evangelism and conversion. You don't have to agree with my take, I just ask you to keep in mind we have the same goals. So the way this is worded, I'm assuming when I open this Vice article, it's going to be a glowing recommendation of Pipkin Pippa. Much like this fantastical degenerate shooter tried having allegiances with the two of us. That's interesting. That's going to be very interesting. Your mom and dad now know what a VTuber is thanks to this arrest. Maybe, sorta. It's not Pipkin Pippa's fault.
Keep in mind, Kirsha is anti-pornography. Now, a lot of people don't realize this. This is the thing that most people don't realize. She is anti-pornography. Yes, she watched hentai before, but she's anti-pornography, anti-exploitive of sex workers and shit. This is kind of the thing that she kind of hates the most about it, is that her follower is a so-called sex pest in a way. And I hate to say this, the person targeting her, Anal Violence, or aka Anna Valence, is kind of a oddball character. And keep in mind, this is something that people are talking about, and this is something that needs to be said, because listening to what she had to say about this is kind of surprising.
Before I reported on VTubing for Vice, I reported on it for the Mary Sue. One of my very first VTuber shoutouts in the press was in an article about the coffin of Andy and Lele. Back in 2023, I gushed about my favorite Let's Plays for the game, performed by a talented VTuber who turned me into a diehard Nemle fan. In my mind, Ashley Graves is synonymous with this VTuber's performance of her. If you want the coffin of Andy and Lele voice acted, the best way to enjoy it is through, and this is a link to Pippa's playthrough, this fucking slimy piece of shit. I wonder if they know that I'm the one that got Pippa to play that. I wonder if they know that their favorite playthrough of that game only exists because of me. That's interesting. Very interesting, Anal Violence. Why can't you just leave VTubing alone? Whose voice acting skills did I fall in love with? A popular rabbit-themed VTuber named Pipkin Pippa. And now that I've uttered the words Pipkin Pippa, I must state the magic spell that protects me from the internet. The following article, while reflecting facts reported by other news outlets, is based entirely on my own personal opinion as a VTuber and VTuber fan. You're too fucking stupid to know what's good for you. I don't know what that's a quote from. I first learned about Pippa and her edgy sense of humor all the way back in 2022, when my Valorant friends began sharing Pippa clips and highlight reels with me, such as this viral post from 2024 or clips from her playthrough of Class of 09, one of our favorite games. I'm the only reason any VTubers played that game, brother, Mr. Anal Violence. That's very interesting. What an interesting article this man has decided to write.
Flashback.
I was trying to convince Pippa to play the first game as well. And she said she would play it if I yicked. If I played the fucking yick game. So I might have to try and find time to put yick on my list of games so I can force Pippa to experience this game.
End of flashback.
Or the duality of Pipkin Pippa YouTube video, which basically captures Pippa in a nutshell. Unironically, during one of the darkest moments in my life, Pippa's explanation for why you shouldn't take your own life spoke to me. You're right, Pippa, I'm actually stupid. I wouldn't say I'm a Pippa fan, but I respect talent when I see it. And I happen to think Pippa is very talented. I hate this man. And I think anyone reading this understands this is written with just like dripping fear of what Fishman could do. They thought I was an easy target, and I fought back, and they don't want any fucking Fishman nets, dude. This is the most carefully crafted knife to the gut. Yeah, this is absolutely disgusting. Kirsha prevented a 41%. True. If I hadn't gotten Pippa to play those games, we might have had another suicide statistic. I'm actually wonderful, unironically. Oh my god. Pippa, to be clear, has a very edgy sense of humor, so much so she even has a controversy section on Know Your Meme. While she's not a political VTuber, her content is definitely popular with many right-wing VTuber fans. That said, she's also popular with people who aren't right-wing. And she's popular with people who literally don't care about politics. Oh, she just like me? For real, for real? By nature of her sense of humor, there are 1,000 opinions on Pippa across VTubing. Mine, I don't agree with everything Pippa does. I absolutely think she's gone too far with some of her jokes in the past. But Pippa is the equivalent, VTuber equivalent of a shock jock, which is literally what I do, which is literally what I said in my cease and desist, you disingenuous, coon-brained, autogonophiliac fucklord. Others have tried to claim that title, but it's Pippa who is the true shock jock of VTubing. That's supposed to be a little dig there about my cease and desist, you slimy fuck. That's what she sets out to do, and that's who she is. And to that end, there's a difference between having right-wing fans and being a far-right VTuber spreading malicious beliefs. I personally believe that distinction matters. Some right-wing VTubers make me afraid, but not Pippa. She just makes me laugh. This entire paragraph is just like fucking passive-aggressive bullshit. Now that we all know about Pippa, imagine my surprise when I opened up Twitter in Blue Sky and saw Face Connect's poster child staring back at me because a Pippa fan was arrested. That's right, someone went to a protest, got arrested, and now Pippa's face is all over his local news. Before we go any further, if you live in the Nashville area and your parents have ever commented on that cartoon rabbit girl who screams a lot in your phone, you might want to have a frank conversation with them before they start asking you to hand over your iPhone. Honey, isn't that rabbit girl you like from your animes? Elijah Miller's Pipkin Pippa post from December 2024, Pippa's appearance in News Channel 5's coverage went viral on Twitter and Blue Sky. News Channel 5 Nashville covers local news from Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Recently, the station reported on the Nashville No Kings protest over the weekend, highlighting a 19-year-old named Elijah Miller arrested for disorderly conduct. In two separate news segments posted to YouTube, the local news studio read from the teen's arrest warrant. Per the warrant, the arrested teen brandished a weapon during a planned protest. When yelling and arguing ensued, he stated that he had a gun. The defendant was holding the gun down in front of himself and letting others know in the area that he had it. The witness and others in the crowd were in fear for their safety and began running before flagging down officers. People started yelling at him and he pulled it out and stated he had a gun. No one was directly pointed at, but Miller was spitting at people. Both videos discuss the teen's long fascination with Nazis' mass murder by highlighting his Twitter account. And in between various screen grabs from the poster's social media, there she is. Pippa suddenly appears, staring right back at the viewer. In a post captioned "Things are about to happen" from December 18th, 2024, Miller posted Pippa alongside a revolver and a book labeled "Democracy, the God That Failed." According to Mises Institute's Connor Mortal, the book lays out the case that private ownership of government, monarchy, is preferable to the democratic government we are familiar with today. You know, I find this really interesting. That Anal Violence pushed out an article on this so incredibly quickly, and it's a glowing endorsement of Pippa, someone I am best friends with, someone that Anna would not have good opinions of normally, and yet this guy that had Pippa and I associated with his Twitter profile only had me associated with his profile after Anal Violence's hit pieces on me went up. That's very interesting. That's very interesting that Anal Violence would seize on this opportunity when they know they can't talk about me. It's kind of like a throwing under the bus tactic. I'm glowing ever so slightly harder. I wonder if Anal Violence had any communications with this weird autistic freak that I just reported to the FBI. I wonder what the connection here is, Mr. Anal Violence. Pippa being based to camp has done irrevocable damage to her reputation, unironically, to where these people believe she's just edgy bunny when she's actually really sweet when she's not being soon. She's never been a political streamer. These are just people that watch clips, which is why I said anyone trying to paint this guy as either a fan of myself or her are doing so incredibly disingenuously. Don't do this if you're a fan of a creator. Don't do this if you're a fan of a creator. It makes you look really fucking stupid, and more importantly, it drags down their image. Is this, There's a cabal of, capeopleists that I'm sure would be very much willing to, throw me under the bus for this as well. You know, it's in their best interest to, defend one, but make the other look more guilty. That's very interesting. I'm noticing. I'm noticing names of people. I'm noticing. Interesting. Why does this person follow my alt account? That's also interesting. I'm fucking glowing, man. I'm fucking glowing like the sun. That's interesting that this person's tweet from that cabal of people who very much hate me ended up in an Anal Violence article. That's very interesting. Don't do this if you're a fan of a creator. Don't do this. It makes you look really fucking stupid, and more importantly, it drags down their image. I agree. I mean, they're correct. They're correct. Pippa's appearance in news coverage around a political arrest obviously turned some heads in VTubing. Over on Twitter, one user shared a screen grab from the news report with the shotgun inscribed Pipkin Pippa, warning, don't do this if you're a fan of a creator, as it drags down their image. Another suggested this was Pippa's PewDiePie moment, referencing the Christchurch mosque shooter, who said, subscribe to PewDiePie meme on livestream before carrying out the mass shooting. A third post.
Yeah, and we read that manifesto. The guy wasn't really, was just knew what he was trying to do, and yet people tried to delete that manifesto. The fact that the guy was just trying to troll everybody in that manifesto was a big surprise, and what the journalists were trying to say, only to try to remove a certain Reddit board. But the weird thing about it is that Reddit board, known as, you guess it, the Trump board, as they call it, as I recall, there was a shooting by a trans woman, and I recall there was trans guns, and yet did trans guns get removed from Reddit for a shooting that was caused by a trans woman? Several trans women that were shooting at schools. So should trans women be removed? r/trans women should be removed? No. Then don't try to tell us you're doing the right thing.
Shared the news report of Pippa's image and responded the exact same way I did IRL. This is not fucking real. Oh my god. True. You may not be a detective, but how is it possible that they may be tied together somehow? Kapipi here, you would never throw me under the bus? That's fine. Like I said, there's a specific cabal of Kapipis that like to gay circle jerk over how much of a terrible person I am. And they spread quite a lot of lies, and it's very obnoxious. Because you would think even if you detest the kind of content I do, you wouldn't publicly try to lie about a good friend of someone you claim to like.
Yeah.
And that's why when people do that shit to Pippa in my community, I fucking ban them. Because I will not have people defaming and lying about my friend. While Twitter seemed bewildered, Blue Sky was angered. In a viral Blue Sky post, one user shared the Pippa revolver and shotgun images, noting it was what happens when you appeal to the alt-right crowds under the guise of, it's just a joke, guys. Another found Miller's status as a Pippa fan completely unsurprising. A third simply concluded it was only a matter of time. And this is what happens when misinformation is allowed to fester. Right? This is what happens when you go around, I don't know, claiming a certain VTuber idolizes Anders Breivik when that never fucking happened. You convince a whole bunch of people that someone is something that they're not. And the lie has, gone around the world a million times before the truth can even get its shoes on. Like, these people will just believe absolutely anything if it reinforces their weird mindset. Blue Sky users following Pippa's news appearance almost universally believed Miller was reflective of Pippa's fanbase, but this sentiment wasn't confined to Blue Sky. On Twitter, some came to the same conclusion, suggesting that Pippa's community deserves scrutiny. Meanwhile, the community definitely does. Pippa herself, no. Meanwhile, a poster on Reddit, our virtual YouTuber, simply called Miller the least deranged Pippa fan. A mod on the subreddit described the circumstance as a cautionary tale on indulging potentially deranged fans.
Yeah.
This will cause a violent video games causes violence, but VTuber flavored, one Redditor asked in the post comments.
Yeah.
Do you really want to explain all this to your mom and dad? Regardless of how you feel about Pippa, her fan base, and the bizarre way VTubing just intersected with larger American politics, I'd like to point readers back to my June 3rd article.
Yeah, but
More
she never
people
does
are searching
politics.
up stuff about
She just doesn't
VTubers
like
that's good and bad.
certain
In this piece,
things.
I
She
revealed
brings
how
up certain
VTuber topic
things.
searches for the past 12 months peaked on Google during the Cinder controversy. Also warned that VTubers can leave a positive impact on the world around us, or that positive influence can be overshadowed by major VTubers getting involved in petty drama and unpopular political beefs. That was you. You started the unpopular political beef, Mr. Anal Violence. Whether you believe Miller's Pippa connection is a black swan event or something worth investigation, I think we can all agree. What happened with Miller is very bad for VTubing. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with VTubing. He was never a Pippa fan. He never watched Pippa. He was never a fan of mine. He never watched my content. Or otherwise he would know he's someone I diametrically fucking hate.
Yeah.
He would not be welcome here. It certainly overshadows a lot of the good happening in the space.
Yes, because she had a bad experience with a gay dude, or aka bisexual dude. And no, he wouldn't. Yeah, even one that dresses up as a woman, she wouldn't like that. Yeah, so it's not like she's trying to preach anything that is really good. It's just that she just likes to be edgy and make jokes. And the problem is that there's a lot of things that are going on within that community. It's like she brings up stuff that they try to make an argument that this is all her fault. This is her fault. And she's like, you can see right here, she's like 1,100K subscribers. A lot of people are saying this. Like, does anyone actually think that Anal Violence actually likes Pippa's content? I think the entire ruse is to talk around Kirsha because Vice banned him from writing any more articles directly about her. Any sort of actual disparaging article would get slapped it down by Fishman himself. And that's the thing, from being a TV show to be mentioned by local news, Pippa is going places. And that's the thing that people are saying. What TV show are you referring to? She was on a show as a t-shirt, forget what it was. Like, it's kind of obvious. Like, Pippa is now officially on the level of Tom Fluff's Newground status of infamy. Yeah, that's pretty much what Pippa is. That level. And keep in mind, this is Pippa. Did she bring anything up like political? No, she just complains about shit. Like, people don't seem to understand. Pippa brings up stuff. Like, Pippa makes on the local news, and this is her response to the whole thing.
Get ready to rise with more shine.
This is her
Introducing
response.
the all-new Sealy Posturepedic collection, now at Ashley.
Is it fully live everywhere? Pippa Milk, thank you for the $20 news. Me and my friends were the first ones that brought the Pippa flag to the meet and greet. Yeah. But thank you for the heads up, Table Milk. Thank you. You know, I'm not gonna get into all that. We're just gonna play a little game today and pretend the real world doesn't exist and pretend that people don't suck and pretend that everything is okay. Sound good? Sound good, gamers? Hell yeah. I'm thinking hell yeah. I'm thinking hell yeah. Man. Between online stuff and IRL stuff, I'm just sitting here waiting for a Glowy to offer me a gun. For myself. Steiner, thank you. 1 year with the silly rabbit. I can't keep up with it all. I can't keep up with it all, chat. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, she really...
It's crazy. It's crazy how much... How much...
She's, like, tired.
Everything... all
But she gets
at
drunk
once.
sometimes in these
Does that
streams,
make
too.
sense? Maybe don't make any Chloe jokes right now. Maybe not, actually. Japan Danger, but thank you. 2 years of Pippa, and here's to 2 more years of Pakistan. Take the Pippa U2s to Mount Fuji soon. Don't let the Chloes get you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Sorry to hit you with it right away, but we're all upset about it and just want to make sure you knew we weren't connected with that stuff.
Yeah, let me go
I hope
skip
you-
this one.
Thank you! Oh my god. More money this weekend, huh?
Yeah, she likes to
thank you. You
drink,
don't have to
so-
do that. John Dingler, thank you. Serena Person, thank you. Keep up. I'm trying anyways. Tony, thank you.
She likes to drink, so it's like it's kind of the funny thing about it. Like, it's weird how people get upset with her. Pippa's controversy take on VTuber fans. Like, it's kind of weird how Pippa released her Gapmo view called her wife. It's like people are just like surprised by Pippa. Does she look like is she evil? No. Now, Emotionless swears a lot. It's like people really hate what Pippa does. Women are liars. Pippa's spitting some real facts. Like Pippa and her autistic rant about ravioli. Okay, let's give her the...
What do you get from an education at
This
Thomas
is basically
Edison
what
State University?
like,
Credentials
is
you
this
need
political?
Ravioli is like shape. The fact that it's like a tiny square versus a giant like plate that can hold like the sauce. It means that like you're getting like the thick globules of the sauce with way less meat and a lot more of the pasta, which just tastes strange. So it's just wrong. It doesn't taste good. Another issue with it is I like to eat my Chef Boyardee ravioli in specific ways. First of all, when you're eating Chef Boyardee ravioli, you have to split all the ones that are stuck together, right? It's okay if they microwave together, but you have to split them. Otherwise, they don't you end up with 2 layers of the pasta that don't.
Keep in mind, this is her. This is her. I get that people don't like her for some reason, but this is the reason why people like her, because she brings up random shit that she complains about, and it's like she attracts that audience of people with random jibber jabber. That's the thing about her. That's what she's good at. Like, I swear.
From my finger to stick.
I swear, we gotta get her a manicure.
How do
someone
I-
get her a fucking manicure.
Filthy nails jump scare. Get over it, man.
This chick
How the
works.
fuck do I get this in here? How motherfucker? Clean your nails? I'm gonna do it with Special Week's ear if you don't shut the fuck up.
Get her a manicure.
Chat. Okay. Motherfucker!
Her fingernails
Damn, that
are
fingernail
full of dirt, man.
Is this better? Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted, motherfucker? There.
Like, this chick got
There.
like a really bad manicure.
There.
Like, she goes, like, you can tell this chick is like a tomboy. She is not.
Freezor, thank you.
holding
Pippa's got
back.
the Aspen Gold nails. What the fuck, man? I'm joking. Clean your nails?
Okay.
Like, you can tell.
Fuck you,
like,
man.
she has,
Fuck you.
Her nails are dirty as fuck.
It's gotta go under. It slots from the no, don't. Under. Oh, look, it's smiling. It's smiling. That's what the point is. That's what the point of the mask is.
Yeah. Funny moments to watch in class. Like, she just watches random videos. Is this a threat? Is this like some threat that people do? The reason why people approach Pippa is because she does a lot of stuff. She makes a lot of jokes. She makes a lot of things. Her laugh is like attractable, okay? The laws of attraction. Like she was into conspiracies. She was into like random shit. Like, a lot of people don't realize she's just herself, okay? The thing about her, even her takes on a lot of things, like Pippa's reactions and the Cinder controversy. So
Life's
let's look
better
at
when
the
your stuff is
Cinder
protected
controversy,
under our
what
roof.
her take was, okay? Do you agree with her on this?
Knock,
take?
knock.
If
Hi
you
there.
listen to her
I'd
talk
love
about
to
this.
show you what a K-12 powered school is really like. Step inside.
Can I give a hot take? Can I give a hot take? I think this one actually will be a hot take. The big, like, drama and stuff around Cinder, I feel like it's kind of like a weird culture right now. Where it's like, this feels like a drama between, like, friends, you know? And so it feels very weird how it's, like, getting turned into, I guess, like internet blood sports. Google Docu, like the Google Docu memes and stuff. Like, people, I don't condone what Cinder did at all, right? I think that behavior was insane. But I also feel like people have reacted less strongly over people committing, like, actual crimes, right? So I don't know. It feels like a crazy amount of, I guess, like, discussion and vitriol over something that is bad, yeah, but is not, like, anywhere near one of, like, the worst dramas or whatever in the community. She betrayed her friends, bro. Yeah, but she didn't, like, commit actual crimes. Like, I think she was wrong, right? But there have been people that have, like, done inappropriate things with children and have not faced such backlash and vitriol. WD, thank you. 13 months. The Google Docu meme was hella funny, though. It was pretty funny, though. The Google Docu one. I doubt Cinder's the only one like that. Definitely not. But, Oreo, thank you. Pretty sure average people had similar bad experiences like that before, so it's relatable. Maybe that's what it is. I guess I hadn't really, like, thought about it from that perspective, but I guess this is, like, the first time the community is seeing something like this publicly to such an extent, so it is, like, more relatable, and that's why people are jumping on it more. It's very unfortunate for everybody involved. I hope that at the end of the day, everybody's alright, but I don't even know, like, it's such a, like, I don't know, doesn't really feel like my place to say anything, I guess, about the specifics of it. It's just like the community reaction is more what's got my focus, I guess. Dr. Minksy, thank you. So, mwah! Mwah!
Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay.
Yeah, and her takes on Lolly. Here we go.
I'm gonna watch Peppa Pig. It's been many years, and honestly, by this point, I had hoped that I wouldn't have had to watch. However, this is lowly. This can sometimes be lowly, but is more often than not, okay, just like chibi-fied version of like an older character, all right? This is lowly. This is just like standard, you know, like younger anime girl. And this shit, none of this even counts. None of this shit even counts. Okay? The last three are all lowly. You're stupid. You're stupid. And thanks for breakfast, thank you. Banana. Cope? What am I coping about? What am I coping about? How is it cope? I like this. I don't think these other things are lowly. Obnoxious agnostic, thank you. Do you think .38 is good enough for home defense? Oh, 38 caliber. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of the only thank you.
That's
From
her
the stalling
take on
watching
anime.
Biba. The Professor King, thank you. It is not lowly, it is Tenma size. Tenma is lowly size. Okay? If you put Tenma up against me, right, for height comparison, Tenma is like real lowly. Mr. Yura, thank you. So by this metric, is Peppa Pig a lowly?
Yeah.
No, Peppa Pig is a cartoon pig.
So keep that in mind. This is Pippa talking about Loli, and it's like, yes, the Loli talk may be disturbing.
batteries.
What's it matter?
Batteries are all this fast.
Power boost!
She likes anime.
insane.
What do you expect?
It's not true. Duracell's the only brand
Same
built
with any
different
other
with power
person
boost
that
ingredients
likes
built right
anime.
here in the USA.
Power boost
ingredients.
Why would you think about that?
Because they did have babies. They had like Dungeon Dragon babies.
It was magic.
I feel like it's been like a running bit for me that like it's the iceberg that killed the Titanic. Yeah, like you have to explain it. Hear me out.
Phobic, you're stupid. You're too woke. You're the friend that's too woke.
Men who likes fanboys are just secretly gay, but they just can't.
It's not gay.
No.
Oh gosh. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah.
I think so.
We're live.
Oh my goodness gracious.
No one understood the reference with the baseball bat hitting the kid and being like, yeah. Oh my god.
Gets me.
That's sorry, that's a bit old.
Guys, let me know if the volumes are good.
Remy, what's your Twitter handle? Is it not? Oh, it's with an underscore.
This is just a weird thought I had, but when you guys see like characters with kids, do you think to yourself, damn, they actually fucked?
No.
Yes,
What?
I do. Yes, in fact, I even imagine
It's
in my
just
head.
a natural. Oh, you're
What?
saying that? Okay.
So yes,
Excuse me?
I go, oh my god, no, ew.
Yeah. So when you think about the dragon and donkey in Shrek,
Yes,
right? Like how does that work?
Why would you think about that?
Because they did have babies. They had like Dungeon Dragon babies.
It was magic.
Oh wait,
Magic, but
they have freaking. That's why they make a meme saying like the donkey's the biggest like Rizzler. Cause how the frig do you get a dragon as your wife? And how do they do it? Cause he's so small and she's so big. What the frick is?
Context. That was a manga, a very popular manga that just came out.
there are solutions for that.
He's compensating being so small,
It
you know?
can work. People find a way. People find a way.
Maybe donkeys are the winners, you know?
I don't think God would want you to think about this.
Now I have Jesus Christ in my
Who
chat.
are you to speak about Lemmy's parents?
What?
Jesus is my uncle, man. It's fine.
Oh, okay. He's chill with
That's
it.
because I believe. I've been playing too much Kingdom Hearts lately, but do you guys know Goofy is like a single father? Do you guys think every time he comes, he goes like,
What the fuck is wrong with you? That's gross.
Goofy being a father is that people thirst after him in the cartoon, like the Goofy cartoon. I don't know. Like where
What?
Right, because he has like a 5 o'clock shadow, and there was like the.
Here's the other one.
Hey D, you work here?
Whatever, kid.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Most people who have lived through an opioid overdose have something in common.
Right.
They didn't do it alone.
Kaisernet was left speechless after ... Ooh, the clickbait. I am tempted to click.
Is your accent real?
My accent?
Yeah.
Do I have an accent?
Yeah.
I don't have an accent.
Hey, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up! Yes, you do!
What do you mean?
What you mean? That's what you sound like. I don't have an accent. That's what you sound like.
Okay. Genuinely. Okay.
Genuinely?
Ignore I didn't get it! Wait, okay. Ignore what chat is saying in a moment because they're plebs. Do I really have an accent?
I think we can solve this with science.
What kind of science?
A bottle of water.
Oh, come on.
Say bottle of water right now.
Bottle of water.
No, you didn't. You like enunciated on purpose.
In school, we were taught to enunciate. Okay, we taught
enunciate. It's like Doctor Who in real life. Oh my god. French people are built different.
We have our differences. I've already aired my differences with all the French pixels in my chat. Like every single time, I would single them out like, you French boy. But it's okay.
How could you tell?
Oh, because they tell me. Oh, gosh.
In America, like when we see a Canadian, we know that they're Canadian. Is it the same thing in Britain when like French people come over?
An accent. We don't have an accent. They have an accent.
Yes, you do! Just like Canadians!
Yes, I can hear it, but we don't have an accent.
We don't have an accent. That's what you sound like. We don't.
I sound like you.
No, you
but not really.
Oh God,
you have an accent.
Say pillow.
Say what?
Hello.
Hello.
No, pillow. Like the thing you put like your head on when you go to sleep.
Pillow.
Hello.
Pillow.
Hello.
No, like it's a pill. It's got a pill. It's a pillow.
No, it's a pillow because that's the way you say it. It's pillow.
Why does it have an E? Why is it pillow?
It's a pillow.
But you're saying it like P-E.
Because that's how it's pronounced.
Say P-I-P-P-O.
Pippa.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Spell red. Like I read a book.
Oh, red. R-E-A-D.
Okay, now spell read like I'm reading a book or I like to read.
Yeah, but you know that's just English.
Oh my god. Spell I-cup.
I-cup?
Yeah, she's very clever when she wants to be. But here's another thing that kind of popped up.
The downfall of this industry. You
did one of my clips.
Even though it's better than console, PC gaming sucks sometimes. What's this?
And blah, 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 blah. But it's like, that's what NVIDIA does with their fucking broadcasting thing. It's like, fucking kill yourselves. I hate you guys so fucking much. I hate modern computers. And people will complain, Pippa, boomer. Pippa's a fucking stupid boomer. Get with the times, old man. Why do you want to settle for worse products when things were perfectly fine 10 fucking years ago? What is wrong with you? Why are you so brainwashed? I don't know myself, brother. Why are you so happy to sit in the cuck chair while they make computers?
Is she slamming her desk? Because can you hear the thumps?
No.
You hear that?
Make computers cost more and perform worse. You are fucking brain dead. You are so stupid. You have been conned by the idea that every computer should come overclocked by default with a shit ton of bloatware that supposedly makes
you've got to make sure every computer has McAfee antivirus installed.
Why did mine come with Norton involved?
Before you buy it. That way you're protected if you want to use Microsoft Edge.
Better. But all this shit was optimized for is the little fucking 11-year-olds that want to play GTA 5 with ray tracing and fancy-ass fucking graphics. And if you want to do literally anything else, then go fucking kill yourselves. Because AAA gaming is in bed with these fucking computer hardware companies, and all they want to do is vigorously jerk each other off and make the same dog shit products with updated RGB and more fucking software. You are stupid. You are the downfall of this industry. I was kind of cooking. I was kind of cooking.
Yeah,
I kind of just...
I will admit to that when I heard that.
I was kind of just mad and rambling.
Because I kind of agree with her because...
I was so...
The cost of NVIDIA products have gone up over the years. And the fact that now the new product, which is a 5000 series, it pretty much is garbage because of the fact that they're saying, oh, it can outperform very well on normal mode. It sucks on normal mode, but if you put it on RTX mode, whatever mode you want, it will have AI upscaling that is so advanced that you can see your penis on the screen, and it will make a freaking AI digital penis to show you, and you can see it from far, far away. So yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Sell you a crappy ass product that they think it would be great. I kind of agree with her point about the fact that you need ray tracing, and most games didn't need ray tracing to play the games. They worked fine, but ever since ray tracing showed up, it kind of eats up the resources on your computer. Like, what the hell's going on? The fact that now these days people are going to go with hardware, but of course someday people are going to go with the newest thing. If you can't afford a computer now, let me show you something. There's something called mini PCs. These are these little box, not these things, not these mini PCs that they're selling at a cheaper price. These can actually do well. These can actually play games. I'm not joking. People have tested them out and played them. You can even add, there's even a 32 gigabyte model for RAM. It has Windows 11. Sure, it has like the latest Intel Adler Lake N5 N95, but the fact that it even has Wi-Fi 5. Like, look at all these options you can buy. You can buy all these PCs, like, no joke. These are very advanced PCs. Yes, and that's my real name. Keep in mind, the 32 gigabyte models with 5.5 gigahertz. And it comes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 2.5. There's even ones that have like Wi-Fi 6 on them, 32 gigabytes, and it can display 4K. And you can play, and it's a mini gaming PC. And they're trying to sell these things. They're trying to sell them, even though they're 4K 60 megahertz, which you can play on a TV. You can actually put like high speed or Wi-Fi. These are portable, and you can actually hook up a USB hard drive or a gaming hard drive on this thing and play your games on it. These things are like almost $500, cheaper than the newest hardware. Sure, they're not as powerful as your gaming PC, but they definitely run your games. People have played some games on this thing and said, "Wow, you can." But the funny part of it, you can add a graphics card onto this thing. I'm not joking. There's a thing called a docking system that you can use that can actually work. Like, there's for mini PCs, you can use it. A graphics card. And you can, and this is the thing. This is meant for mini PCs. This is the product that is meant for mini PCs. Signal amplified chip. ATX AF, like this thing can actually, you can use your video card, and you can see right here there's the mini PC, and there's your graphics card, and it has a power supply right next to it that you can install right there next to it and use its power to play games on it, and it helps you play games. Like this is called a Misform DG1 external GPU dock station, mini EB enclosure with RTX 490 and AMD RX 79 ATX X, and it supports ATX and standard power supplies. Occult interface graphics dock station. As long as you have an occult system on your mini PC, it could work, even though they cost a little bit more. You can get these for under like $600 to $200 to $300. These things are not. These mini PCs are the near future. Even though the hardware is not great, it's getting up there. It's getting up to the point where, yes, the low powered PCs are the future now, and it's going to make bigger hardware obsolete, because now you can play Dragon Age or whatever game you want, and it can still play it just as pretty well, even though it doesn't have like the PC power of a 590 graphics card. It can still play them. This would make desktop PCs obsolete. But of course, we still use them because why not? They're pretty good. And it's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having issues with the PC. It's funny how I'm trying to get on Kick, and I can't even get on Kick to save my life. Like, I try to log in, like, wow, it wouldn't let me get in. Like, it's hilariously funny. I tried to get in, like, it won't let me. Like, I've been having issues with that stupid live stream, like, for a while. How's it going, everybody? Like, I really feel bad for Pippa. Like, people are trying to cancel Pippa for the wrong reasons, because Pippa actually does say some things that do matter. But unfortunately, some people don't like her for certain reasons, because instead of trying to focus on their content like they shouldn't be, like, I should focus on my content too. I should probably improve my content a lot more, because of the fact that the people out there probably hate me because of a lot of good reasons. And the fact that I pissed off a lot of people over the years is because, one, I pissed off, like, mostly the race baiters and all these other people that got upset, because I got sick and tired of their bullshit. And most of the time, people don't seem to understand that there are people out there that make really good content, and it's just a shame that people hate that content creator for a lot of reasons. I'm not gonna try to mean, like, for example, this person right here. Let's look at this person.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with it. You see, we test
them. The creator of that video, super sweet. I talked to them personally. They were super sweet in taking it down, but it had a lot of incorrect information as I keep just trying to go on with my life. I've been putting off talking about my testimony, but I guess it's about time I do it now. I may go off on little like rants, and I apologize for that. I'm filled with a lot of emotions. It was one of those things where I felt like no matter how hard I'm trying to just better myself, people still want to bring up things that doesn't matter anymore. Or they want to make assumptions that they shouldn't without asking me. And it sucks. So, for starters, I grew up in a very loving household, no problems. I grew up believing in God and knowing that He created me and created everything, but I was never raised in church to read the Bible or really much anything along those lines. I had a children's Bible when I was a kid that my dad used to actually get me to read almost every night. So it was more of like Christian morals, but not really like being told to really follow Christ. Leading up to this point, I, naturally when you go into your teenager phase, you're rebellious, you don't care. You go through life doing dumb stuff. Junior high, I went through a lot of sexual harassment. Then high school came along and I decided to live all throughout high school as a boy, essentially, quote unquote, thinking I was trans. Obviously, I'm not. I lived through high school just as a boy, thinking I was trans. When I left high school, went to college.
Yeah, keep in mind, when girls get sexually harassed when they're young, they tend to be scared. And yes, they tend to be afraid of a lot of things. Like I've seen people like this before in high school. I met a girl like that who was sexually abused, and she kind of like hides herself. She was actually sexually assaulted, and I knew her, and she was a freaking like gangster, and she was she wasn't like, she was kind of like she kind of had that like Billie Eilish style, but except she wasn't Billie Eilish. She was from like, I think, Hawaii, and I remember she wasn't bad looking either. It's just the part about her getting like sexually assaulted when she was young, and she kind of had this like mean streak in her, and I understood why she had that mean streak in her, because of the fact that people, did a lot of things to her that were wrong, and she had to do that because people had hurt her before. And yeah, some of them have to dress up as tomboys because they don't want to be touched in that way again, because it does kind of make you let's just say hard. Like, you're very hard to the core, because you can't deal with you can't deal with the reality of being what you've been through, and the only way to deal with it is to rage against it. And sometimes women do that, to rage against it. It's very much human nature for females to do that, because they don't want to feel that experience again, and it does hurt them, and it does emotionally break them to the point that they would do that. Some of them would dress up as tomboys because they have to. It's to protect them from the possibility of being like, looked at in a certain way. It's not to objectify them or anything like that. It's just sometimes it's to protect themselves from the fact that they possibly will get harmed in some way, and that's kind of the thing that they do all the time. And it happened to be from a classroom program that I was in. And I remember this girl in high school because it reminds me of the situation with her mentioning this whole situation about her sexual assault, that she was rebellious and everything. And I knew a girl just like that. And I understood why that girl was rebellious, because she was sweet though. But I I really feel bad. And let me go ahead and continue on with this story.
I eventually came out of that and realized that was more out of just trauma of the things that I went through. I was in an abusive relationship. I grew out of that, came back to being my girly self, but also still a very heavy tomboy. 2020 was probably where a lot of things kicked off for me and started. 2020, I got diagnosed with a chronic disease. It's called Grave disease, and that's basically a permanent version of hyperthyroidism. My thyroid gland don't work. That's when I kind of started trying to be in touch with God, because after that moment, and it is unfortunate that it happened at this moment where I was essentially at one point close to death, I prayed every night that God would keep me alive and I'd be healthy again and he'd fix me and all these things, praying to God just like, please save me. Please help me make my body well again.
God would come at the lowest point of your life. I learned that myself too. I was kind of saved by a guy who was my next door neighbor. And he kind of told me that the Holy Spirit showed up. And I was sick. I was having a hard time at my job because I was pulling an 11-day shift, 11-day job, and I wasn't able to sleep very well. It was just the fact that I probably should get a new bed or something. But as far as I know, the fact was, God would probably come and show up to you at your lowest point in your life. If you're feeling down and out about everything, I prayed to God that he would forgive me. That's the one thing I kind of prayed. I prayed to God that God would forgive me. I couldn't really ask for anything, but God kind of showed up and kind of sent me that message saying, okay. But I couldn't really ask for anything, but I was thankful that and appreciated what God did. Because, but seeing how this girl, let's see what she has to say.
Because I didn't know what was wrong with me at the time. I went 2 weeks not eating. The most I would eat in a day for 2 weeks straight would be a singular banana, cup of oranges, and like 2 slices of bread every day. That's how my body stayed alive in that moment. Eventually found out what was wrong with me. I thank God that I did come out of that. But at the time I didn't, I wasn't giving myself to him. When I started being a VTuber, did what every VTuber does, or majority of VTubers do. You sexualize yourself and your model to get the attention of other people. Did that a lot. Even had a fansly for like hentai and stuff of my model. And thankfully I wasn't doing anything physically to myself. I do regret them now. My current relationship with my boyfriend helped me realize a lot of things were wrong. Between enabling people's porn addictions felt so wrong because I noticed my relationship was kind of built on that very hypersexual foundation. Eventually it came to me like telling him that like, hey, I'm stopping this completely. I feel wrong doing it, and it would be better for both me and you if also like while I quit my stuff that you quit your stuff. We'll not get into his side of things, but we had to work through that. Took a while. We're in a better spot now, but porn damaged my relationship a lot, damaged me a lot. And at the time, I was using a model that basically looked like I was wearing a bunny suit. I'm gonna see if I have a image I can put for educational purposes. Let me see. This was my model before this one. Basically, a bunny suit with some kimono sleeves. I was working on a different outfit, and like VTuber models, they take time and money. So what I did in the meantime is I had an arm toggle for that model where she was basically crossing her arms, and I used that toggle 24/7 while I was working on this model. And this model, some of you remember, initially did have larger breasts. I didn't create this outfit even for the intention of being inappropriate. I just thought it looked cool. But of course, when my model already had bigger breasts, it looked inappropriate and actually was never meant to exist like that in the first place. My model got heavily exaggerated. I've always wanted my model to reflect me and how I am in real life. Be real, I'm small. Leave it at that. I have nothing. The fact that that happened at the time, like, I should have corrected it, but then I was just like, well, we're in this far. I'm in this far, whatever. Just keep going with it. As I was starting to like think about God a little more as I moved away from doing NSFW. I started thinking about God more and wanting to go back to church. Didn't know which church to go to, honestly, because there's a lot of churches near me. I was at work, and my coach that was training me at the time for bodybuilding, he came up to me, and I was telling him that like I'd been wanting to go to church, and he invited me to his church. And he said we do young adults on Tuesday nights if you want to join me next week, blah, blah, blah. And I told them, like, at the time I was working Tuesdays. So I told him, I was like, I think I worked that day, but I don't know, like, let me look. And I double checked the schedule. By some random thing, my name was crossed out on Tuesday and replaced with someone else's name. I saw that, showed it to him on the schedule, and we both looked at each other and knew exactly that God was like telling me like, hey, time for you to come. I started going to church with them. This was last year in about September-ish. I had been going to this church for a while, started kind of doing things myself and trying to grow in my faith, as well as like taking the moment to correct some things about myself, because I still like swore a little bit in my streams, but I was trying to change my content. Eventually, I had a moment where I was like, I think I want to, share with my community and the internet that I was changing what I was doing with my life. And so I made a post on Instagram about being a Christian VTuber. And at the time, this was when my model still had the big boobs and everything. That gained more traction than I could even think of on Instagram. And that's how I got a lot of the following I have now. That video right now has 1.2 million views. Wild that happened. But a lot from that was a lot of super sweet people, but also a lot of people commenting about my model, saying that it was lustful and inappropriate and demonic and all these things, like every insult under the sun you could think of. The conviction hit me before that video I posted, but I didn't want my model to stop me from speaking my truth and sharing. So I, shared anyways. Because of that, I met so many amazing people like Celeste, Marshall, my mods that are now my friends even. Like I met so many amazing people because I didn't wait. And then after that, I posted a community funding thing to help me get model changes. And along with the new model, I changed this current model, my techwear model, and raised money to get a new model. And now my model that I use all the time looks like this. It's still the same outfit, still the same kind of bodysuit underneath, but it has heavily decreased boobs and a jacket that zips up. This is how I look. I used the jacket zipped up because honestly, once I saw it, it looked really cool. And I was like, yeah, I'm chilling with this. At first, I did try to change I tried changing the bodysuit. I went to the person who helped me design her, and I was like, how can we change this bodysuit without ruining the vibe? And then eventually, we tried messing with ideas, and she was like, girly, your character has a jacket. Just zip it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I do have a jacket. I'll just zip it up. And now I look like this, and I really like it. And while I fully agree that the bodysuit isn't the most appropriate, the issue of the design of it is obviously within the chest area and how it's literally just sheer fabric with pieces of cloth kind of crisscrossing each other. I couldn't figure out a way to change that and be cost effective, so we just zipped up the jacket. And I keep the jacket toggle on and zipped up because while me personally, the bodysuit of my outfit doesn't bother me and doesn't get in my way of my walk with Christ, I understand that people struggle with lust in different ways. And people struggle with lust very heavily when it comes to 2D images, oddly enough, as I used to capitalize on that sin that people cave into all the time. So, out of respect for other people, I keep my jacket zipped up. I could have very easily just said, you have a problem with it, you deal with it. That's not what we're supposed to do as Christians. If something we do causes another Christian, another brother or sister to stumble, we need to make sure we are not doing that. Near them, around them, whatever. My personal life, what I do, affects me differently. That's just it. I don't get turned on or anything by a 2D image, but other people do. So I will do my best to make sure I'm not a problem for them. So I don't want to be an obstacle for other people. The next, I guess, hot topic of my model is why I'm a dragon. I know that the Bible has a lot of imagery and depictions of dragons that are not used in a good way. The devil's described as a dragon. The Leviathan is a dragon, if I'm correct. I've not read my entire Bible, so forgive me if my information is wrong. I like dragons. I am a...
I guess I could probably give her the book of the story about Daniel. Oh, Daniel killed the dragon. Like, this is like actually a really good story about how Daniel killed a dragon. Now, this is like a short story, so we'll go with
Did
this
the king
one.
of Babylon watch Daniel the prophet kill a dragon right there that they worshipped? He sure did. But King James, he had that taken out of your Bible. And that's next on the trumpet. I can almost bet you that your Bible stops on Daniel chapter 12. Daniel actually has 14 chapters. This is right here at the end of the New Testament. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life. I'm learning in my Hebrew studies that the Bible can't be changed because it's written in a thing called parallelism, and that keeps the words true and correct. It can only be taken away from and added to. This method kept the original words the same, but nothing
And it's
to
actually
keep
a really
somebody from
interesting
leaving
story
some of
how
the books
Daniel,
of the Bible out.
yes, the same Daniel
And
who
from
was saved,
1582, this is Bel and
who was
the
saved
Dragon.
by God himself.
The prophecy
was,
of Daniel, chapter 14.
When he was sent through
And there was a great
lion's
dragon
den.
in that place,
That same
and the
Daniel.
Babylonians worshipped him. And the king said to Daniel, Behold, thou canst not say now that this is not a living God. Adore him, therefore. And Daniel said, I adore the Lord my God, for he is the living God, but that is no living God. But give me leave, O king, and I will kill this dragon without a sword or club. And the king said, I give thee leave. Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair and boiled them together, and he made lumps and put them into the dragon's mouth. And the dragon burst asunder. And he said, Behold him whom you worship. They got mad at Daniel right there and
Yeah, he
said
killed
that he
the
turned
dragon.
the king into a Jew. It's 11:11. After the people turned against the king delivered Daniel over to them, and they threw him into a den of lions, where he was there for 6 days. Then an angel of the Lord came to this guy right here and said, Go carry Daniel your dinner over in Babylon. And the guy said, Man, I've never seen Babylon before. Love this part. And the angel of the Lord took him by the top of his head and carried him by the hair of his head and set him in Babylon over the den in the force of his spirit. Daniel had been living with the lions for 6 days, and he knew that God had not forgotten him. This is the king of Babylon talking. Then the king said, Let all of the inhabitants of the whole earth fear the God of Daniel, for he is the Savior, working signs and wonders in the earth, who hath delivered Daniel out of the lion's den. This passage is in every Bible that I own. It's Daniel 12, verse 9. And he said, "Go, Daniel, because the words are shut up and sealed until the appointed time. Many shall be chosen and made white and shall be tried as fire, and the wicked shall deal wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the learned shall understand." And almost 3,000 years later, after those passages were written, along the edge of the Dead Sea, were found sealed in a cave.
Yeah.
The book of Daniel. And chapter 13 is all about the amazing story of Susanna. And this is a page right out of the Septuagint, which is what Jesus Christ would have had in his hands when he was walking the face of the earth.
So Daniel basically poisoned the dragon. I actually kind of put made the dragon eat something, and of course the dragon tricked to eat it, and of course it got into the stomach acid and everything, and it blew up the whole stomach. That's what happened. Thus Daniel basically kind of caused an acid reflux to the stomach with the dragon's mouth. So yeah, this is kind of the thing that most people don't realize about Daniel. Daniel learned this from God. God told him, "Okay, Daniel, this is what you need to do. You need to get these type of ingredients to kill this dragon." Just to prove to the king of Babylon, and this is kind of the thing, he was trying to prove to the king of Babylon that God really does exist. Don't try to mock him. He will just... And the fact that a lot of people don't realize, Babylon is kind of the Chaldean, even the Chaldeans, the Chaldeans and Assyrians, they're both different. The Chaldeans, there's Chaldeans that worship Allah, but some do worship the Bible. And there's also the Assyrians. The Assyrians worship God and also Islam. But that depends. Some of them were converted. And it's kind of weird how that happened. But the book of Daniel kind of does talk about the dragons. The dragons in the story. So yeah, she picked a dragon in the book of Daniel. Which is actually a really interesting story, which they kind of left out about the dragon part and why he was sent to the lion's den by the people. It is weird. It's a weird story, but yeah, it does have some context because the Greek text kind of brings up the whole thing. As far as I know, that's what happened. Let me go ahead and switch out. Because yeah, the fact that I'm talking about this randomly is just, it's kind of weird. I know that most people like VTubers. There's several different personalities of VTubers. All of them are Christian, and there's even ones that are the LGBTQ. Now, why is it that a lot of people, for example, Nanya. Let me see. Where was that one trans VTuber? Let's look at trans VTubers. Let's look at how they talk about trans VTubers. Now, this is how this person Nanya TV talks about.
Why is a cis kid allowed to go?
So. This is something that kind of brings up about Nanya. Now, everyone talks about her, about this person. This is a German VTuber. I think is Austrian, I believe. If I'm a VTuber and designer from Germany. So, yes, from Germany. And I used to joke around about the German LGBTQ thing, because they do have a history of gay German techno back in the early 90s. I remembered that when I was like back in the 80s when it was like a big deal, because I lived in Germany for about probably 4 years, because of my family living there was for the military. They were serving probably around in Nelligan base, I believe. And let me see if
Game of Thrones King's Road
now,
is
people
now
are
available
kind
on
of
both
complaining
PC
about
and
this person,
mobile with
for
Google
example.
Play Games.
This
You're
is the
not
person.
tracking someone's egg by forcing them to be trans. You're literally just sharing your stories. Someone resonates with it. They learn something about themselves. Maybe something clicks in their mind. It's just about self-discovery, not, you know, pushing someone into a certain direction. I touched on this subject just like a little bit, but I wanted to talk about the video I made with Okko, or rather about Okko, where I was basically like sharing my experiences, because like I resonated with a lot of the things that Okko said when it comes to like laying in bed at night and battling with God and stuff like that.
I think that if Niar had parents that cared and took them to therapy, they probably wouldn't be trans today.
No, I would have transitioned sooner.
I think that they would have ended up just like me.
I was like you, but for me that wasn't a life.
I'm a little weird. Sometimes I like lay in bed at night and have to struggle with God a little bit about myself and liking myself.
Okko reacted to this video. I haven't watched the stream. I think it's like a 6-hour stream or 4-hour, 5-hour stream. I have not watched this video. It also includes a VTuber that I've had many struggles with called Celestium, who is a Christian VTuber. And by Christian, I mean one of those Christians who use Christianity as a shield to justify their bigotry, and is mostly known for going on Roblox, preying on children, and finding children with rainbow flags and telling them that they are going to go and burn in hell because they are gay and that's a sin. That is why I don't really want to engage with this stream at all. But there's something that I wanted to touch on, because Okko actually reached out to me and we talked a little bit. I'm not going to share the things that, you know, we talked about, because Okko trusted me with this and I'm not going to expose anything. I'm just saying that like a lot of the things are a little bit clearer for me when it comes to Okko. Like we do have a lot of like similar feelings on things, but we differentiate when it comes to like gender dysphoria and it being trans.
Yeah. I kind of agree with the point there.
I don't believe that Okko is trans or Okko is an egg. And I do not want people from my community to shove them into that box. You know, even if I'm going to like refer to Okko with she, her pronouns, he's a VTuber.
Here's the problem that I had with this. Like, I remembered B kind of explained to me about the situation that he was dealing with a certain person demanding that they take HRT. This person was harassing a friend of his a lot, and the fact that this person was a so-called we had this problem with the with this so-called group of people who were trying to force like little kids to transition. Like it was basically this was like the 4chan community of, I think it was Traps. I think that was the the community, and they were trying to force the kids to dress up in girl outfits and everything, and then tell them to take HRT. And it was a literal troll like op that kind of turned to serious, because apparently this person that was leading this whole operation was a degenerate. Yes, having to deal with the fact that this person kind of did something wrong. Grooming kids was kind of the accusation that was against this so-called person. Now, I don't think it was bad. It's just the fact that the whole traps obsession thing was just kind of funny. But the thing is, like, these kids are not that serious. They're not serious, and yet you're trying to, you know, the people that were involved tried to dox these kids and try to, you know, tell them, take HRTs, it will save your life. And it's like, these people are really crazy. No. And it was like a weird situation with that group that was brought up about that.
Using a female model, using a voice changer and stuff, and playing a character, I don't believe that those are like indicators for someone being an egg. If, I don't know, this changes at some point and Oko does come out as trans, I'm going to be supportive, but I don't want people to like shove this label onto her. I don't feel comfortable with that. And I think that's also like a problem that I back in the day saw with like...
You need to learn to angle your weapon properly.
Fin stuff, for example, where people were like, oh, this person likes to dress up as a girl and likes to present femininely, must be an egg. And if so many people just like shove this label on you, it makes it incredibly hard for you to like...
No, the issue that I have is that it's up to the person to decide whether they want to or not. You can't force it on the person to decide whether or not they want to be or they do want to be. That's kind of the issue that people have, is like you're forcing it upon a person. Like I've seen this happen to a friend of mine, which was Evie, who told me about this situation. And the fact is, guys, calm down. I'm just being nice about this. Is that there is a community of people that are forcing it upon one person, harassing them constantly over the issue because of the fact that this so-called person wanted to get a transgender harem, which I thought was hilarious. And that's kind of the thing that happened. Let me go ahead and fix this for a moment, because I gotta fix this crap. Yeah. There we go. And it's like, it's crazy enough that there's some people that honestly disagree with you on certain issues, especially the trans issues. Like, you want people to understand your plight about the trans issues. Yes, I get it that you want to help people try to transition into a woman or a man, and they've been feeling this way for a long time, this whole gender dysphoria thing. But I honestly feel that there are things that are happening that kind of gets a little bit like maybe the person made the wrong decision, maybe the person is right to make their own decision on what it is. It's just getting people to understand your perspective of this. Some things some people could disagree with.
Come to terms with, you know, who you are, and you get to a point where you start to like reject that label, and it starts to upset you, and you think that like you can't be trans because it wouldn't come from you. It would basically come from other people projecting it onto you. Calling someone an egg can definitely cause them to further push back against it if they are or feel forced. Exactly. I've heard that like after my video dropped, people joined our Discord, Oko's Discord, and try to explain how Oko is actually trans and it's just an egg or something like that.
Yeah, this is the typical problem that the trans community does, and they do it in the wrong approach. It's like, okay, you're trying to explain to her you're trans. You need to convert to our ideas, and it's like, this is becoming a situation to where you just admitted here that the trans community is you like being obsessive about a person. Like for example, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. It's Pat situation. Like, I used to remember this joke from It's Pat. Let me see if I can look at it. It's Pat. It used to be like a Saturday night skit, and this used to be like It's Pat movie. I used to remember watching this movie. Like there was a scene in the film where It's Pat was like it was such a funny film. Like there was a scene in that film. Let me see if I can find it. And it starred a really good cast of actors. Especially you'll see like you recognize one of them. You might recognize this one actor right here. I used to watch the skit. It was a comedy skit show from Canada. It was called Boys in the Hall. And I recognized that guy. I forgot his name. His name was Dave from Kids in the Hall. They were Kids in the Hall used to be this Canadian skit show. Yeah. And they had the actors from that show. They used to do some really funny stuff, like this one, for example. Dresses up like
Faye.
And he looks very nice with that outfit on. With the leather. With the Terminator leather.
Faye.
Dresses up as a bear.
Fag.
Yeah. Great show. I like it. I miss that show. It's too bad they like it is funny. It's Pat is a strange film. But at the same time, it's a comical film about a character trying to find their identity. That's basically what this movie, based on a Saturday night skit. But there was a scene in Pat that was kind of creepy. That kind of like, let me see if I can find it. See if I can find that scene.
Whoever had stolen my diary had left few clues behind, and I was soon on the
What is the word I'm looking for? Androgynous.
Oh, that's right. Androgynous. That's what everyone says about me. Good old androgynous Pat. Pat's always cheerful and androgynous with everybody.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, because there's a lot of scenes that It's Pat movie kind of represents. Like, I would suggest renting this film. Because this is the struggle of an everyday life of a transgender character. Even though, yes, it's satire, it's funny, it's not the best movie, but it kind of shows the struggle of a transgender character. And the funny thing about this film is that there's a scene in that film where there's a guy that is so creepily obsessive with Pat, And Pat was like, "Oh my god," freaking out about this, panicking and everything. And it was like the very obsessive, creepy. It kind of got into this whole conspiracy with Pat being, "Are you a girl or a boy?" And that scene kind of creeped out a lot of some people, but it does have some point of view of what the trans community is like. They tend to do this creepy thing with Pat trying to, like, Mama Oko is pretty much Pat. I hate to say this. Mama Oko is very much Pat in this situation, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything to you, Mama Oko, but they're kind of seeing you that way, and they have this obsession with you that's kind of creepy. And I hate to say it, the it's Pat thing kind of tells the whole thing.
And that is like a really toxic behavior, and it actually makes me upset. It's a really big issue. It happens a lot with femboys as well. Even if you consider yourself a cis man and you want to start HRT to look more femininely and have like skirts fit you better or something like that, I still hesitate calling them an egg, especially if they're like strangers. If it's like a joke that someone is fine with, it's different. But like just going out of your way to like tell strangers who they are is exactly the shit that I complain about when it comes to cishet people, when it comes to straight, when it comes to transphobic people.
Yeah, it comes to the point where people well, it's kind of like how people hate the word gay, and people say you are gay, and it gets to the breaking point that you hate when people say that to you all the time. Oh, you have ADHD, you have this, you have that, Rinder, you have this, you have that kind of situation.
Telling me that I will never be a woman because of this or that. Basically trying to take control of my identity. And I kind of do feel bad that people do that to you. It kind of does make you. And it's understandable. It's like we shouldn't be like telling people what their identity is and what their identity is not, because it kind of does happen. And that I can agree with that argument. It's up to the person to decide who they want to be in this case. Who I am and gender expression and whatnot. Everything that is like encompassed by you know, the label identity and gender identity. Been talked about that? Yeah, exactly. Had some issues with it when it comes to people saying it to random internet people. To friends can make sense, but it's weird to me with strangers because we don't know the person. Exactly. You know things about a person based on the things that they are sharing. And if someone does things that you resonate with and they share things that you resonate with, it doesn't mean that what helped you know, especially when it comes to like transitioning and stuff, doesn't mean it's going to be the fix for someone else's problems. In the video itself, I said that like I'm not trying to crack Oko's egg or, you know, do like transvestigating type of stuff. It is just I resonate with a lot of the things that I'm saying, and yeah, I'm sharing my perspective. I'm sharing my stories, and if someone resonates with that too, it doesn't mean that they are trans. I think it could be like an indicator for someone to like maybe dig deeper, for someone to maybe work with like an expert or something. But it's very important to not shove a label onto strangers. It doesn't matter whose side does it. It's the same type of behavior when like I didn't want to have like a relationship. I wasn't, you know, like the other guys looking after girls, chasing after girls and stuff like that. And people coming up to me and being like, you know, it's okay to be gay, right? It always made me really uncomfortable. It kind of made me struggle to like even talk about these things, talk about the things that I'm like dealing with, you know.
I knew that was gonna happen, guys.
Gay. I'm not just a gay cis man. Insert Batman meme breaking the gun. We do not use their weapons. Transvestigating. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to like touch on that a little bit more because like cracking eggs and whatnot, it's like a not
The whole trans instigating thing is kind of the word that I would say.
Force, and that is like the biggest part. It's like you're not tracking someone's egg by forcing them to be trans. You're literally just sharing your stories. Someone resonates with it. They learn something about themselves. Maybe something clicks in their mind. Most of the time, go to therapy and look deeper into the topic and discover more about themselves. It's just about self-discovery, not, you know, pushing someone into a certain direction. Even if it comes from a point of like empathy, sympathy, and being like, oh, it's okay to be trans, you know, like this might be like beneficial for you, and like you do all these things, like it's okay to be trans as well. You can transition. Even if it comes from a point of empathy, it is literally the same thing as straight people telling me that like it's okay to be a gay man wearing a dress, even if we all know that in reality it wouldn't be okay with them. It's the mirror shattering event. Something clicks and the mirror breaks, allowing for them to see more about themselves. Exactly. A lot of people are afraid of labels, especially when there's a label particularly hated. I feel that too, as I'm questioning myself. I mean, you know, you don't want to label people, because then you're shoving them into a box, and most of the time it doesn't matter what the label and
the reason why I made the joke about the whole gay techno songs thing was because I thought it would, because you're from Germany, and haha, I thought it was funny. Because gay techno was around since like probably around the 90s. And I know that Germany kind of had a revolution back in the I think about in the 60s and 70s with they were the pioneers of digital, actually electronic music. They were the leading revolution for electronic music that they have done. Like, if you don't believe me, there's a documentary that kind of points out about Germany. The German electronic music, like they have led a revolution within the electronic music scene back in the days. Now, a lot of people don't realize they have done, like Kraftwerk, for example, they have done a lot of like electronic music. Like, they have been the leading group of like, they have disco, they have 80s electronic music, and it's kind of the funny thing, like Germany had this revolution for underground electronic music. They were leading that charge back in the early 80s. I think it was in the 70s, the early 80s, the 90s. They have made they made a lot of electronic instruments out of a lot of stuff. And I think there was a German documentary about this, talking about electronic music. Like, they have led the charge for electronic music. And how do I know this? Because I was living in Germany when I was a kid, got exposed to listening to it on the radio, and didn't really care about it. But the fact that they have made strides to make electronic music a thing in Germany, they kind of revolutionized the technology and everything, especially electronic instruments, amplifications, and everything. Like, they have done a lot of stuff in that space, and a lot of people don't even realize, like, they have done so for many decades, making electronic music a thing. Like, this is kind of the thing that you'd be surprised by. Like, they use computers, they used to make music. And the funny thing about it is like they even the fashion, like you've seen right here, like the industrial goth techno music that you see in the days. Like, it is kind of funny how these people are into this stuff, but it was like, it's interesting enough that people don't realize like they have, even though some of them were not noticed, but some were noticed in the music scene back in the 80s. Like, they weren't techno, but they were very good musicians. Like 99 Shish Balloons. I forgot that name of that group. But you could tell, like, they had a love for that music. They had a love for that what they do, like the technology that they made, like, no joke, like the technology that they've been using to basically make music back in the early 90s, 2000s, it's no joke. Like, especially like this, like making music like that is kind of crazy. And it is funny, like this is the one, Put It on the Ritz, like performing in Germany. Like in Germany, they had a lot of acts. And the funny thing about it is like the electronic revolution in Germany was kind of like, it wasn't mainstream in the US as you would believe, but it sort of kind of popped off in Europe, and it became a big thing in Europe, and Sweden and everything followed into it too, as I remember. That's why I joked around about that whole thing. Like,
hey everyone, big heads up, Paleo Valley's running a sale on all their meat sticks right now. You can get 30 sticks for $36, which comes out to $1.20 per stick.
Entails. Being trans is okay, and not being trans is just as valid. We shouldn't force labels.
Being trans is okay. It's not being trans just as valid. We shouldn't be forcing labels on one another.
On one another. I think the most important part is just like it comes from someone else. Like someone labels themselves. And if someone is a femboy and they are okay with being a man dressing femininely or a boy dressing femininely,
it's just that they kind of see themselves as feminine, but they're males and they're gay. That's kind of the thing that they would like to be. They like to dress up in cutesy outfits, being androgynous as possible. And they go way to the extreme of dressing up as a woman. That's kind of how it is. Like, there's a culture surrounding it too, but it's kind of how it is. Like, some are not really into the being sexual, but some do it as a hobby. Some do it as to be like getting paid to do it. Like, I remember an artist, like, for example, let me see if I can find this culture. There is a culture in Japan and I forgot it was called. But no, like, that's another thing that's another trans word, but it's called otokokano. It involves men expressing culturally feminine gender expressions, including cross-dressing. It's not a new phenomenon. It roots to traditional Japanese art of kabuki theater, where men traditionally played the female roles. But let me see if I can find it. Like, Visual K, that's what they're called. Visual K. The movement often, like, this is the Visual K movement. And those two are dudes. Keep in mind, those two are dudes. And they dress up to express themselves. Okay, those are two dudes. And Visual K, like, it's kind of a culture thing, and I get that guys are into that because they like I know there's some guys that are like Visual K fans, and you now, can you guess and I'm gonna ask this question. Let's see if I can find the music group. So I could find that music group that, like, Eternal Bloodlust. Visual K is kind of a like, people don't seem to understand that too. Like, they don't really understand, like, some people don't even realize, like, there's, like, let me see if I can find that guy, that one guy. Hito. Because I used to because he actually was very popular in Japan, and you can see right here, like, this is what they dress up like. And some people mistake some of these people. Like, this is an example. That guy right, the one lady in the dress is a dude. You don't believe me? Go ask her. And there are so many groups that kind of, like, you'd be surprised. Like, the Visual K artist Kaya, actually met him in Anime Expo, got his signature, and attended his panel. Very nice and funny. I love you, Kai. And these are people that are so into this stuff. Like, you can tell, like, they're not trans. They kind of like the style. They like the look of themselves, to express themselves in a way that kind of, even though, yeah, it is kind of like feminine in a way, but they kind of do it in a way that's like, that presents themselves as, even though, yes, a little bit manly, a little bit masculine, but they do it in a way that kind of points out the style, because it was the style. They do it for the style. And a lot of people don't realize, like, this is the type of thing, like, you think these people are, like, into that style because they're into the style. They're into the style because it was cool. Like, they basically like to, like, show off for shock value, but at the same time, girls kind of, like, go like, oh wow, you're a dude? Because one of them, I used to remember, like, an incident where there was a cosplayer I remembered, and this cosplayer at a convention that I went to, I thought it was pretty cool. Like, it was an awesome costume that this person had, and I didn't realize it was a dude. It was like, thank you so much. Like, you're welcome. He had that deep voice on him too. Like, some people can pass, but, like, you can see right here, this guy's as skinny as hell, and that's how they try to pass it off as they are. And you can tell, like, these are people that do this for fun, that do this professionally, And you may be thinking, oh wow, like they kind of do this to express themselves in some way with fashion and everything, especially the makeup, the clothing. But does that make them trans? No, it really doesn't. They just do it for the fun of it, like. But they kind of do it in a way they want to express themselves, that they want to do things creatively for themselves. It doesn't make them gay. I don't know. But this is kind of the thing that Visual K does. And the thing that I don't like is like the group that tends to be like, oh, this must be trans. They're trying to be trans. We need them to get on HRT, or else we'll be losing the war against humanity. Because we won't have that many people left. You and me are the only ones left to try to fight the transphobia. And that's the thing. Like, these people take it way too far, thinking that these people in the Visual Kai must be trans. Therefore, they dress up as women. No, they do it because they want to get paid. They're music artists. Like, it's like people don't seem to understand. They express themselves via makeup, via art. They want to create the artistic style that they want to impress the chicks. They want to impress the fans. That's the thing that people don't realize. Like, this is the type of style. But do you think they're trans? Do you honestly think you honestly are like the guy that was in that one movie that I saw called It's Pat, doing the whole, are you a girl or a boy? And that's what I did with that one question that I did a while back about, because it's basically perspective, basically how people perceive a person who's dressed up differently or does like absurd fashion style. And I don't know, like, are they you can tell this is a guy right here, but I'm just proving the point here. They do this as a fashion, like, they do this for fun. They do this just to, just to entertain people. And some of them like to be like the pretty boy, and that's kind of how they are. And it is kind of funny how they laugh at everything. Like, here's the other thing. Here's an example of the these are like their fans and everything. Like, are they being transphobic? Or are they being no, they just love their fans. They just like the way they dress up in fashion and everything, and they really do love entertaining their fans so much. Like, they put a lot of effort into looking and presenting themselves in a way that kind of like attracts the fan base. Like, it's kind of strange how people like to perceive them as, they must be trans. We must convert them or else it's like, no. That's kind of the perception that people see you guys as, because the fact that you guys try to do that stuff.
And they identify with that. And even if they start HRT, and even if they say like the most stereotypical trans girl talk, it doesn't mean that they are trans. Labels are kind of cringe anyway, unless you label yourself. Exactly. Labels can be beneficial if you're trying to learn more about yourself. Labels are detrimental when they are shoved when they are forced onto you. That's basically my small little TED talk about it. Labeling is so easy to do, but it's not cool to do. Yeah, I think it can also be like very detrimental for people who are non-binary, to like shove them into trans femme, trans mask box, because they might lean towards one thing more, because it just like pushes the idea that like, oh no, actually everybody belongs to a rigid binary box. Transmedicalism, basically. Yeah, if non-binary was well talked about thing when I figured out that I was trans, I probably would have leaned towards non-binary. I feel like it also comes from the idea that like it feels like an in-between stage for a lot of trans women, trans men, that is like for a specific period of time you just like identify with this label until you see like progress with your transitioning or something like that. And I think this concept,
the question that I like to ask is, do you suck dick? Do you have a fetish for sucking dick? Do you not realize you're gay? Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I forgot about, but it's a joke. And the thing is like people kind of take this literal point of view of trying to justify this as trans. It's like, look, they're a group of people that got into the fashion thing. Like, no joke. These are guys. And I'm just pointing this out to you guys. This is just a fan base that are into, the fashion of it, the design of it, the sphere of perspective. Some of them dress up for the money, others do it for the entertainment value, and it's kind of funny how people perceive it as that. But it's not like, yeah, there is some LGBTQ stuff, but at the same time, like, I'm just pointing out this group, for example, to point out like the fashion style and everything that they do. Like they put on the outfits, you can see right here, like the fashion and everything to show off to people, just to impress you guys, just to entertain you guys. And the creepy thing about it is like these people, there are people out there that go into this whole obsession thing. Like, it's the same with the Steven Universe fan base. They're so obsessive about certain characters in a way that it kind of brings into the aspect of, are these people really that crazy? Yes. There are people that are obsessive about anything if it involves like for example, furries or guys dressing up as women. This is kind of the thing that I find hilarious about this whole thing, is like, you have people like this. For example, this is a guy, I could tell. And they can pass off as that too. But I don't know. Yep. Yep. And they're pretty good too. They're really good artists that can pass off. And you can tell. You can tell. They starve themselves. They do a lot of stuff. Like, they can pass as a female.
Okay, bro. Okay, gotcha.
You see? Like, this guy, like...
So, you guys tap this screen. Yes, that's your job. My job is tapping and playing guitar, right? And your guys' job is tap the screen and send me another heart.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I think they want him to say he loves Brazil. Yeah, this is like one of his. That's like one of his outfits that he did, and I would ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you: Would you think this person passes as a female when you look at this picture? Because this person put a lot of effort because they cosplayed this outfit. And it's fashion. It's love that they kind of do this as a rocker. And you can tell that these people do a lot of stuff online because they put a lot of effort in their aesthetic, their looks and everything and this is not bad though, you might just say, because this is the thing that you kind of realized about the Visual K people. Like, they always do this, and you'd be surprised. Like, okay, bro. Like, I'm just pointing out the example of this, and it's like, this person needs HRTs. Like, nah, this person does not need any HRTs. They look fine the way they are.
Except the fact that, like, this is like a path for so many of us. It's like the reason why a lot of trans people jump to like the you're just like a trans woman. You're just a trans man. This is just like an in-between stage when someone comes out as non-binary, which can be very, very disgusting. Some people do that, and that feels like it invalidates.
Some do it for money, like I showed you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm just pointing out, like, the person that I showed you, for example, could pass as a woman, could pass as a young female. I'm just pointing that out to you as an example because that's the point I'm making here. Is like, that is the whole point. I'm just saying. This person, for example, could pass as female, but it's a guy. Why do I know that? Because of the fact his hands show that. And especially down there shows that. Like, this is a guy who's been around for a long time, has done music for a long time. Is pretty skinny at that moment. Like, you could tell this person had done music for a lot of things. And they worked their asses off too. And they can pass as a female, but they are male. And they know that. They just enjoy the fashion and aesthetic of it. And they know very well who they are. And they enjoy every moment of it. They enjoy entertaining the people. They enjoy doing what they love. They love doing music. They love, like, this is kind of the example of Visual K. They can pass as a female if they wanted to, but do they transition? No. They're perfectly fine because they work their asses off. They did a lot of things. It's not just genetics. They work their asses off to look the way they do. And I met a few rock groups that toured that toured around here in the States. And they explained to me that whole thing too. And it's like, people don't seem to understand, Nara, that this is kind of the thing that I'm pointing out. Like,
shut the fuck up, bitch. Win 24/7. And for the Prime, thank you for the 7-month Twitch partner. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
At least now,
isn't that insane? Actually, well. This is for you. Off topic, but it is just me. Or does it feel like a Pride is overshadowed by men's mental health this year? Around, even though both should exist at the same time. The thing is, like, Pride was celebrated way earlier than Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. In general, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is actually in November. That is where all the big events are. And the reason why they set it to June is basically in order to overshadow Pride. That is why in a lot of cases, in a lot of instances, when people talk about Pride, they hit you with, oh, but you never talk about men's mental health.
No. Now, the issue that I kind of point out, like, yeah, it was in November, but then again, there was no Nut November. It was overshadowed by it. No Nut November. Yeah, that was overshadowed by it. But the funny thing about it is, like, I want to go ahead and point out to you the reason why they did it, because it got overly obsessive about Pride. Like, you guys had a holiday, you had Trans Remembrance Day, you have so many freaking, like, Being Gay Day. It's like, there were so many holidays. Like, there's so many holidays that it gets to that breaking point. Like, there's Trans Invisibility Day. And that's on Tuesday, March 31st. You have that, and you have I don't even know if there's a lesbian day. Let me look at Lesbian Day. October 8th. International Lesbian Day. October 8th. Yes, guys, there's lesbian, but it was overshadowed by Halloween. Okay, let's do with gay. Let's see what Gay Day has. Disney World's LGBTQ. So Pride, it was kind of referred to as Pride Day, which the gay night, Gay Day, was the most commonly referred to the event of the theme parks in Disney World and Disneyland, where the LGBTQ and dual individuals and their allies gather the day to celebrate the community. And that's on, let me see, what date? June 1st. Pride Day, which is June 1st through June 30th, which is Pride Month. But they had to destroy it because people have absolutely celebrated a lot. But it kind of got into the breaking point that, yeah, they were getting Pride Day. Everyone was getting no Christmas during the pandemic. People seem to forget that while they let everyone out on the pandemic day. And yeah, that's why they vowed vengeance against the LGBTQ community on this one. That's what I believe that's happening, because the pandemic happened. The LGBTQ were allowed to go out on Pride Day, having their own parade. And I remember they got upset over the whole straight pride parade thing during the pandemic. And it was ridiculously absurd, but it was, yeah, there was Pride Day and there was Straight Day. And I thought it was funny. Like, people were getting upset over that one.
What about men's mental health? And then it's like, what the fuck do you do for men's mental health except use it in order to invalidate the struggling of other groups? Like LGBTQ, like the Pride benefits directly men's mental health, because a lot of the issues are because men can't be affectionate with each other. Men are being shamed if they befriend women. Same with Veteran Month, yeah. And then they never do anything for veterans. They're actually taking away a lot of the things that help veterans, right?
Yeah.
Month, every month, real. That is why when you get my merch, my Ubermarket merch, it will always be Pride, Pride stuff. I want to launch another line of that, but I have to think of a design. I thought the Everybody Hates This Bitch could be cool if I'm going to make like a Pride edition with like the rainbow, with like rainbow colors and stuff like that. Maybe trans colors, but I really like the design. I think we kind of cooked here. Don't get why some feel like they can't celebrate Men's Mental Health Month and Pride Month at the same time. Like they don't care about
because men's, like, it's true. Like, people don't care about men's mental health. That's the reason. Hell, I don't even care about my mental health. I've been struggling for a long time because I realize no one cares. Why should? Because here's the secret, guys. If you want to cure yourself from this mental health issues that you have, just realize the people you're talking to, especially your psychologist, doesn't care. They do not give a shit. They just want you to take medication and make sure you do it. What's this? Shit. Oh yeah, Skype is discontinued. They integrated into Microsoft. I forgot about that. That's another thing that popped up recently. So yeah, they don't really care. So if you want to, that's the secret. If you want to get out of your medication, just realize that talking to these people is pointless. Telling them shit is pointless. Just listen to what they have to say carefully and you'll understand why. Just realize they don't care. Because that's the secret. They don't care.
Men's mental health in general. They just use it in order to invalidate Pride Month. Love your design style. Thank you. We're going to see, because like the colors might be off because my magenta doesn't exist in what's that face? CMYK. We got tags available now for the server. Oh, okay. Wait. I got pinged. Why did I get pinged? Petition for a squeak toy reward on Miara streams. Chat, do you want that? They've literally been talking about it for a week. I didn't know.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't realize that. Because I realize, like, if you want to save yourself from the insanity of the world, especially from your doctor, please realize this. They don't care. They don't care. They just want you to understand and listen very carefully and pay attention to everything they say. That's kind of the thing that kind of happens. Yeah, so I guess I better go ahead and talk about something else. I guess I better go ahead and show you guys what's going on. Because I'm just like listening to what he had to say about this, about men's mental health. The only issue that I have with this is that, okay, that's something that needs to be addressed. Because the LGBTQ kind of pointed out this issue. So let's go ahead and bring up something else. Since I brought up the whole mental health issue and the whole LGBTQ issue with the VTubers, because the conflict between both sides is kind of funny. And let me go ahead and bring up something here. Because I thought it was kind of interesting. Twitter. I'm gonna look up Twitter because guess who I found out today, because I actually replied. Let me see if I can find it. Wooly. For those that don't know, Wooly congratulations, Wooly. For those that don't know who Wooly Versus is a he was a fighting game enthusiast, part of the fighting game community. Wooly's very popular among the fighting game community. He's practically a meme. But 3 chances to succeed. Failure means death. Fight again for 25 cents. Yeah. This is kind of the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Wooly is now married and is happily married and is now having a baby. Congratulations, Wooly. He's from Montreal and has been for a long time. So we wish him the best. We wish him the best, as far as I know, because we're not gonna bully him. We're not gonna say anything to him. We're not gonna hurt him. Wooly's is a very popular guy, so we wish him the best. Congratulations, you're having a baby. Let's see what's going on. If I remember. Yeah. Yeah, I went to Waffle House for the first time to see the fight, but nothing happened. And the guy's still, like, people are just literally making fun of it. I fucking love you. Try again next time. One time I saw one and kept the dream alive. You're lucky. You weren't wrong. Kind of the kind of Waffle House to go, more low income Waffle Houses. You'll see some out of pickup shit. The reason why I like Waffle House is because they serve pancakes. They serve eggs. I like the eggs. The eggs taste so damn good. Waffle House is an awesome place to have breakfast at. That's the reason why I kind of like Waffle House. But the reason why people go, like, there's college kids that go there just to get, that got off from the club and they go there just for a meal because they were partying and everything, and it's up all night. No more fights at Waffle House. We used to be proper country. Yeah, and I thought it was kind of funny, like the whole fighting thing. Like, it's kind of funny when you witness a Waffle House fight. The reason why she's lucky, if she went to a Waffle House where there was like a club next to it, like a dance club, you're gonna see fights. You're gonna see people like getting over there to get something to eat so that they can like get over their hangovers and everything. Waffle House is known for that. That's why a lot of people like Waffle House for. I like Waffle House because they serve some great breakfast meals. That's the reason why I go there. And it's like, I'm surprised, like the wrestler known as Mika Oto. Yes, for those that don't know, the cutest pro wrestler in the world, yes, her is, as you can see, you know, pretty awesome character.
I have big news! Ta-da!
Yeah, she got her own action figure finally.
Yes, I sell tomorrow. 500 only. Please get it.
500 only.
wrestlingtees.com. Pay me, bitch.
Pay me, bitch. That's funny.
Hello, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what she's known for. Like, only 500 made, ready to ship in order. The cutest micro brawler in the world. Micah, though, it's kind of funny. Like, she's like this. She used to be an idol, but she decided to become a wrestler. Because she was such an oddball character in the wrestling ring. She's like this oddball character that everyone just can't help but laugh at. Like,
fucking bullshit, motherfucker! You piece of shit! Fuck you, bitch!
Yeah. Like, she's an oddball character, that one, and you can't help but laugh at her when she does her show. Like, she's a funny ass. She's a funny ass firecracker when you least expected. She will bring upon the memes and everything about her that just kind of makes her laugh at people. But she's an oddball character, and a lot of people like her for that too, because she makes it entertaining in wrestling, and that out of respect for her, she does. Like, it is kind of funny. Like, she showed up at a Waffle House, wanting to see a fight happen over there. Yes, because we want to keep the dream alive. Oh man, this is how Japanese franchises become ruined. The only person with a definitive demands will never onto much like the anime in Japanese wouldn't have been loved in the first place if they weren't appealing the way they are. Japanese creators need to lose this mindset that they need to do is change the way they create for the sake of mass appeal, to stick to making the games only they can make with the unique flair. Game journalists and their ilk are screeching out problematic fiction that are not and will never be the audience. They want to be the filter of acceptability to spit people who enjoy Japanese media because it generally does not conform to their values and view it as a threat. It's time to stop trying to pander to the Westerners who do not accept these differences or respect Japanese culture creatively. It's not for them. As the Attila franchise goes global, the dev team is torn on how to reconcile Western and Japanese players' vastly different demands. Because right now, I kind of do understand where this is coming from. This is from Automation West, which I probably need to... Yeah. Yeah, here they are. They're like a really good. They're really good. Director and creator Toby Fox didn't expect the new character Tennis to be so well liked by fans. During the development, Fox was worried that Tennis might get dismissed as a budget version of another character. The Giantess dating sim. That's funny. All right, so this is the article that was brought up as Attila franchise goes global. Because for those that don't know, Attila is kind of the girl with the thick thighs that saves lives. That's basically the whole franchise of this game. Yes, her thick thighs saves lives. That is the video game that we all know and love. And it's a very good, like the Attila series, like the Attila Ryza and everything. Its thick thighs were influenced by Japan's economic recession, according to the series producer. Yes, thick thighs. Her thick thighs saved lives. Like, the series is very much a franchise that is known goes global because it's a very popular game series. Resina, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian, according to creators. The new title will bring back the classic Attila SK mechanics, releasing on September 26, 2025 on PC, Steam, PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch. Note that the PS4 port of the game will only be available in Japan. Automation recently had a chat with the producer Hoshino Jinzo about the Jinzo about the Attila series' worldwide success and how it affected and approached the development. The huge gap between Western and domestic demands seems more apparent now than Unique requires a careful approach when it comes to improving their games. However, Hoseo says that the Attiller team is carefully listening to the opinion and comments of the fans send their way. Hoseo said with a message that oversees readers, telling us that we need to learn more about the difference between the series, Western and Japanese fans. While he was on the trip across the ocean recently, he went to Europe and North America for a time to do some work regarding the Attiller Yumi. He says I could actually feel the contrast between Asia and Western sentiment, as well as the difference between our way of thinking and the Western players' demands. For example, Hoseo adds, the West many players are looking for more straightforward, action-packed gameplay experience. However, in Asia, this is kind of the direction would be considered too simple, and players say they would rather, like us, focus on making a Synthesis stronger, while hearing all those opinions makes me realize how difficult the game development actually is. I want players to leave a Steam review and give us any kind of feedback, because it's really valuable information for us, and that's why I'd want to tell our players, keep on sharing your opinion with us. I think this game will probably do well, because a lot of people like the classic turn-based style. They still do, based on what other games that were released recently. With Expedition 33 was actually a big success, and it was turn-based. Inherently spirit of Aturus Sophia 2, taking on this into account, appears the development of taking on the freedom of making a game design choice of each game they create without learning exclusively towards one market and one group of players. Trying to find a solution is at the best both sides certainly isn't easy. But Jose said, keep sending all your opinions and suggestions. The way developers will be able to improve their games and make more content that fans will actually enjoy. Yes, because thick thighs save lives. That's what the whole thing happened to be. Let me see. Monster Hunter. Okay, Nier Automata creator Yoko Taro says there are less weird people in gaming industry nowadays. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It says that there seems to be less and less weirdo in gaming. What does this mean for the future of the industry? So, Dragon Guard and Nier series creator. Oh yeah, Dragon Guard. I remember I played Dragon Guard. And the Nier series creator Yoko Taro was known for fairly unconventional, both in a sense of his self-presentation and stories he tells through the games. However, hiding behind the creepy mask and an enigmatic persona is an avid X-user. Recently, he opened his Q&A box for fans, answering questions on various topics ranging from restaurant recommendations and life advice and industry insight. One fan asked a question about whether the gaming industry has lots of weird people, which Yoko Taro responded, not as many as they used to be, but how important it's actual weirdos in the industry. What does this mean for weirdos nowadays? I was reading the true biography of game creators, laughing like LMAO. Sure, there's a lot of people with strange personalities. It's true that there's actually a lot of weirdos in the game industry. If it is, which sectors have the most of them? The fan asked it in the message. Yoko Taro replied in X account, I've been part of the gaming industry for 30 years. I feel less weird. I feel like now, I don't know if there's something simply happening in my field of view, but the game industry ended up like this. I kind of agree. Whole world is like this now. Because you got to have like weird people that are kind of creative, that are kind of wacky, that kind of like don't even care if the world is against them, but they'll create it anyways, because why not? If you don't have those people, I kind of do agree with this point. To be weird is to be free. It's no exaggeration, says Yoko Taro himself is a weird guy. He has even called his own game Weird Games, but for weird people in his past talks. The emphasis of weirdness seems to be the foundation he builds on games, focusing on more niche taste with the author rather than having elements that could consider marketable. It's an imaginative talent, luck, and rebellious spirit seems to have ended up being a recipe for success. According to Yoko Taro, the first Nier games treated it as an experimental project, but nobody expects the series to become a hit. So I kind of agree with this point about this, because there's less weird people, and you guys realize something. I get it, like there are less weird people, but when you have people that are like upset and angry and they go on the internet, that kind of ruins their reputation, especially online. Like if they want to really come back to the gaming industry, come back. Go ahead and make games. Who gives a shit about the perception of what if a game is problematic or not? But just make the game. Make the game good, but make it fun and make it entertaining enough for people to actually understand what it is. Yoko Taro has previously suggested the creators who go against the mainstream, like Aiko's Fudo Pomoto Yuta, are one who makes the new Apox. He always emphasizes the importance of being different and going against what everyone else in the industry is doing. In a joint discussion, the director of Stellar Blade and Goddess of Victory Nikke, Yoko, explained in his process creating characters for Nier series, our concept was always to do something that's like not anything else. If Western sci-fi is filled with Marine-like soldiers, we might go with the opposite direction. To use Gothic Lolita outfits, for example, we tend to take a constrained route. If what Yoko Taro said on X post is true, there's actually less weird people who would challenge the norms to create games which go against the exceptions demands of the market. What does this mean for the game industry? Yoko has already shared some of his predictions on the future of the gaming industry, saying that the game developers probably won't be able to make a living in the future if AI takes over, and that is around 50 years. They will be treated like bards. However, he advises his fans to take his predictions with a grain of salt. That's fair. I kind of agree with Yoko Taro on this one. It seems like a reasonable argument to make, especially like what he makes about video games. Like if you can't there's not many weird people, and yeah, there are weird people that tend to piss you off, but I can understand like his point of view about the whole issue is making a Gothic Lolita outfits, and that's kind of thing. If a Western sci-fi filled with Marine-like soldiers, we might go in the opposite direction to use Gothic Lolita outfits, which kind of does point out something. Like if you want to put a black person in a video game, make them impressive. Like I don't know. Like for example, there's so many video games out there. Tyrone. Like, I'm surprised no one has bought the game known as Tyrone. Tyrone versus the cops. Tyrone Souls. Like the people who made Cuck Simulator made this game. Team Steve made this, and I'm surprised no one has made an effort to actually make Tyrone Souls. Tyrone versus the cops. The VR game. Like, it's a low budget game, but they somehow pulled it off. Like, you get to virtually kill cops. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this game actually does allow you to kill cops. And yes, it features the weapon that everyone don't realize. Yes, the flamethrower that what's his name created. Elon Musk's flamethrower. This is the BLM virtual cop game where you could actually buy it. The people who did Cuckold Simulator. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This game is absolutely very popular among the masses. And I'm surprised, like it's overly positive. And this guy has been developing games for a while. Made a game called Corn. Team Sneed made this game and got away with a lot of shit. Coco Simulator, Coomer's Delight, 99 cents. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh god, I'm gonna...
Cold Simulator. Tyrone. Big ass Posey mode. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrone Souls has a DLC. And yet no one bothers to buy that game for some reason. It's like you get weird people in the industry making weird games like that, and they come up with the most absurd game, and people have to buy that game because it's just so funny, like haha funny. And yes, if you're gonna see, there's less weird people, less creative outlets to express that weirdness that they created. And if you can't find those people in the industry, I'm sorry. All we're seeing are people making like really bad decisions and really bad choices. And we get like really bad games who can't even create the best game ever. Stellar Blade Switch Port 2 is not confirmed yet, but Shipped Up clarifies in response to the rumors. So the following Stellar Blade successful launch of the game sold over 300 million copies on PC. It only makes sense the developers of Shipped Up would want to capitalize on the success of expanding. Like, this is actually pretty interesting. Like, I'm actually reading this article. It's actually pretty interesting, though. Like, I think it's pretty cool though, because I think that it's absolutely interesting enough that while their response is possibly Switch 2 Stellar Blade is in the works, it's and an official studio says is that nothing has been confirmed. According to the Playform, which the industry sources report that Shift Up recently acquired a Nintendo Switch dev kit, and this would allow the studio to create new software and port over their existing titles, which, Nikkei is one of them probably. Considering that Stellar Blade recent accomplishments, fans would be surprised if the game received a Switch port. It would be interesting to see, because it would be cool to see if they actually made a Switch port. And the funny thing about it is that Shift Up actually recently gifted Nintendo Switch 2s to all its employees. I wish I could work there and get a free Switch, Nintendo Switch 2. But I understand there's a lot of hate for it, but I'm not upset about that, because frankly, I think it's nice that they're actually having some success to doing something. But as far as I know, that's what's going on. All right. I guess I'm going to go ahead and talk about this, because this is something. Let me look up something in the news. Because the anime news is kind of interesting. Amazement. My Hero Academia's final season streams teaser trailer. Nope. Too much mainstream stuff. Kaiju number 8 season 2 trailer unveils the cast. Japan's media watchdog fields complain about the teen gambling in Gundam GQs. Oh wow, really? Complains of the following episode for the latest Gundam series earlier. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Let me go ahead and read this article by Anime News Network, because this is something that GCUX or GQs or something like that, as I call it. Audience summary newsletter near the bottom of the letter, organizing a field of comment regarding Gundam's series Mobile Suit Gundam GQ. Comments summary taste late night robot anime. There's a scene which the high school girl was playing an online casino game. Concerns depictions of the game that they may be watched by minors that could have a negative impact. Response to the Gundam GQ's BBO comment were varied. Japanese aggregate the site to Hamachi Kikyo complained. Several anonymous responses ranging from mocking or criticizing the comment of the BPDO itself to something noting the series airs during late night block. Amongst most critical comments against the BOPO, Hamachi Kikyo user stated that BPO didn't report on Johnny and the associates' dark side for decades. Should such an organization have, say, another comment less critical of the BPO stated? Like Kamen Rider Glaive, there was some complaints to the BPO that make me really think, really that? Yeah, because I can see why there's some issues with the complaints from especially from the Japanese Communist Party. Like, I watched Kamen Rider Glaive and I thought it was an okay series. I don't think it was bad. It was a little bit dark, but it wasn't that bad. Let me see. In more mocking tone, the highlighted comment of Hamachi Kikyo joked it about complaining to the BPO about the colony drops seen through Gundam franchise since the first series. I will file a complaint with the BPO because the depiction of the colony drop has a negative impact on the government. That's the whole point of it. Like, the creator of the series was anti-war. He didn't like what the government was doing around the war during the around the 70s and the early 80s, because there was a conflict with the war. This commenter noted, while it's difficult to steal a gun and shoot someone in Japan, using the parent and guardian phone to log into the online casino can easily be done. This appeared to be the only comment supporter of the BPO comment. As the press press time, BPO, the Nippon Television, and Gundam GQ's production team have not commented further on the complaint. So the source is the BPO website itself. And I'm looking at the the Broadcasting Ethics Program Improvement Organization. Okay. So that's kind of the problem. I can see why people mock this, because over the colony drop against the government. Like, I can see the absurd complaints about the depiction of the colony drop has a negative impact on the government. I filed a complaint with the BPO because the depiction of the colony, I kind of agree. That's kind of stupid. It's not real. You shouldn't be trying to insert things that are involving the government into this because it's a fictional story. It's not real, but yet people tend to take it seriously. And I personally think this is kind of an example of someone, taking it too far, that they have to do something. Like they freak out about it. Like, this is kind of the dumbest story I ever read. But yeah, there are people out there that believe that aliens could be real, and sometimes it would lead to if we say some negative things about aliens, they might think if I say something negative about aliens from outer space, that they were sexually assaulting women, and I say that we shouldn't allow them to do that, they might someone would think I'm racist for saying that. And the thing is am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying that? Should we stop aliens from sexually assaulting our women from another planet? That's what I'm saying. Like, is that a racist comment? Is that something else? I don't know. You tell me. Is that is this the Nazi way of saying? I don't know. You tell me, because I don't seem to understand why you would believe. I'm only concerned about the safety of females. That's the reason why I'm making this argument, is that aliens from out, like, if I mention that and I put it in an anime talking about aliens are sexually assaulting our women and we should do something about it, but of course they might think, oh no, they're gonna this sends a bad precedence. No, it's a fictional story. What the fuck is your problem? It's not a big deal. It's not like it's going to tell everyone, oh, we need to stop the immigrants from raping our women. Motherfucker, what's wrong with you? Are you saying that you want to have the women raped or something? I don't know what the fuck your problem is. I don't get it. Like, this is obviously a bad argument to make. You're defending something and then trying to report it to the government, saying that this is promoting anti-Semitism, and it's like, this is about women, not Jews. What the heck are you talking about? And you try to insert all this bullshit for no reason. What the fuck's wrong with you? Are you that mentally fucking crazy? Are you telling me that you prefer to see women get sexually assaulted? By aliens from outer space? Are you telling me that you support this? You I don't know what's wrong with you. You're fucking retarded. You're fucking stupid. I don't know why you people online do this shit. Like, especially Freerin. Like, you guys keep bringing up bullshit about Freerin, talking about, oh, the demons are evil. We should be peaceful. We should coexist with the demons. But yet the demons are trying to kill us all. And this is the reason why Freewind killed them. Because they killed her family and her friends in a village, which is a Holocaust. They caused a Holocaust against her people. Do you not understand why she would rather kill them than... It's like, you guys are stupid. Stop bringing this up every fucking time we have to watch an anime and you bring up stupid shit that no one agrees with you about. Please stop. It's stupid. Why the fuck would I want to listen to you on Twitter bring up this idea about anti-capitalism and all this bullshit in an anime? It's fiction. Stop inserting it into fiction, okay? That's like... oh, man. I have to stop. It drives me insane when these people do this stuff, especially in the anime community. It is just ridiculous. Okay. I'm living with an otaku NEET Kunichi. Female ninja avails an anime dub cast. I might watch this anime since it already came out. And they already put out a dub for this, so I might just watch it. Let me see what else. Crunchyroll announces the release of the schedule of the summer season. Okay, so starting, that's on my birthday, June 28th. Topai Original Sin. I might watch that one because it's that. Let's see what they announced for Crunchyroll. Taco Opai, okay. Tak Opius Original Sin. Oh, that's interesting. I might watch it. That's coming out on June 28th, which is my birthday. Detective Days. These Days Are Crazy. Necronomiko and the Cosmic Horror Show. I'm kind of curious about this. Necronomiko stars doing her dream job as a live streamer. After graduating from junior high school, Miko spends her days with her childhood friend Miyu and Miyazaki rival Kezo. One day they received an offer to try a new virtual reality VR game that will change their lives. So it's a horror game show that they're getting involved in. Okay. Rent a Girlfriend Season 4. In English, okay, so... Okay, July 1st, Clevitas, Mayo Kitten Rebirth Versus, which I might be interested in watching that one. But I know most people don't like that show for some reason. The new Saga. A world laid waste by demon invasion, Kyle subdues the demon king with his last remaining strength, but then he is sent back 4 years into the past, armed with his past life memories. Oh, God. It's a Back to the Future isekai. Reborn as a vending machine, which I'm hoping this would come out. July 2nd will be Reborn as a vending machine. The isekai that you could not, like, a vending machine. Now I wonder the dungeon. Reborn as a vending machine. Now I wonder the dungeon, which is actually a really good season. Dandadan season 2 will be on July 3rd. The Water Magician. Might watch that one just to check it out. Welcome to the Outcast Restaurant. Kabushi Under the City under construction. Let me see what. Okay. The Outcast Restaurant. Denise, a level 99 cook who had been exiled from the guild he'd been working at for many years, decided to set up his own dinner in the countryside. Okay. So it's just like that other anime that came out recently. Now I can cook. Now I can cook better than everyone. I am cooking better than everyone else, and I have this harem of women. Yeah, it seems like they keep making the same story, but they always keep doing the same thing with isekais. Let's see. Kaya Mitsubaki, City Under Production TV series. I might watch this. It looks kind of cool though with the coloring and everything. I like the style, but it looks all 3D. It looks 3D animation to me. I might watch it. Okay, Secrets of the Silent Witch, which already, I think they did show a preview of that anime. Okay, Monica Everett, the Silent Witch. The world only practitioner, a voiceless magic, is hereby heroine of the single-handedly fending off the Black Dragon of legend. However, the young prodigy is actually super duper shy, and she only learned voiceless magic to avoid speaking in public. Ignorant of this, the seven sages have placed her on the top of the secret missions to guard the school prince. That'd be interesting to watch. I could probably watch it. Arknight Rise. Let me see what else. Arknight Rises. This is like the phone app game that is really popular with certain people in Asia. She is supposed to be the beacon of hope, but anger and hatred and war threatening to engulf the people. Only Rose Island, a neutral organization, can stop the reunion movement's rampage and the conspiracy behind it. Amiya and her friends head to the central area of Chinobong, which is Ryumon, which is near Ryumon. Okay. Which is just a fictional storyline here. To my understanding, it was a phone app game, and they're telling us it's something else. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking forward to my brothered, betrothed, my sister's ex. I might watch this one just to see how it is. Dress Up My Darling Season 2, which I'm kind of excited about. Rascal Does Not Dream, Santa Claus, With You and the Rain, Shy Hero, The Assassin Princess. I might watch that one. And let me see. Scooped Up by an S-Ranked Adventurer, might watch that one. Private Tutor, Duke's Daughter. Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. Might watch it because it's a cute anime. Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. Kaiju number 8. Hoshina's Day Off. Special episode. Might watch that. And the one I'm looking forward to on July 6th is this one. Yeah, Teenage Rondo is one of the hated tribesfolk who lives in the slums of the Spear. Practitioner society floating high above the clouds. Not only does he belong to the social economic underclass oppressed by rich, wasteful, cleanliness-obsessed city folk, his peers look down on him for being the son of a deceased murderer. When he was framed for the murder of his foster father, Retigo Rondo, this thrown him down to the Spear into the pit, an enormous garbage dump from which no one ever returned. Which he somehow returns to settle his revenge. Oh yes, this is the movie Naya to the Living Cat. Toilet Bound Hanako Season 2, Part 2. Hotel of Inhumans, which is kind of like another version of that one hotel show with John Wick. Apocalypse Bringer, Mothra, the world's conquest starts with a civilization ruined. Could watch it. So Arasa comes to an illness at a young age, ended up reincarnating into a world that resembles the fantasy turn-based game Eternal Nations. Not only did he reincarnate his favorite game, but as a god who commands evil civilization among okay. Cultural exchange with a girl, game center girl. It has that little girl thing. That could be that's a cutesy anime, so it could be something. Ruri Rocks. What is this one? Ruri Rocks. Oh yeah, this is the one with the mineralogy. This is like a mineralogy anime. Grand Blue Dreaming, Season 2. And that's on July 7th, Digging an Earthbound Mole. Oh God, that's just ridiculous. Turkey Time Strike. Oh, that's cute. Might watch it. Couple of Cuckoos, Season 2. Rising Shield Hero July. Might watch it. It's 12 episodes, so that's all they can do. Because they're in the high seas right now. Their origins can lead him. I might watch Rising the Shield Hero, but I have to finish up season 2 and 3 in order to catch up, because I do have I do have the first season collected, but I don't have the second season collected. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince, so yeah, I can take my time practicing my magical ability, which is coming out soon on July 9th. Okay, so Rise of the Shield is coming out July 9th. Dr. Stone's Science Future Part 2 is coming out July 10th. Solo Camping for 2. That's kind of contradictory to the title, but okay. Let's Go Karaoke's another one. Captivated by You, August 20th. See You Tomorrow, The Food Court. And the other animes that are coming out for the season: Summer Pocket, To Be Hero X, Anna Shirley, Case Closed, Detective Conan, Witch Watch, and One Piece. Oh yeah, I know about the Lord of Mysteries, but the animated series is based on a Chinese novel that will premiere on June 20th with 2 episodes, which I might watch because it comes out on my birthday. There's 2 different versions of it. I heard about the Pocket FM version of it, which I read before, but I don't understand about the because it's a novel series, but I remember listening to the audio from Pocket FM, which there's 2 different versions of it, which I don't know if it's that version, because the Lord of Mysteries basically I thought it was kind of funny because they kind of have like 2 different names for it, and the adaptation is the Chinese version of it, which I thought was kind of funny. Which the novel is serialized in Qunan, which is a Chinese an animation adaptation. Donghu is which is what they're calling it. That's the Chinese anime, and a mobile RPG title, Lord of Mysteries, development and using the Unreal Engine. Reception of the masses are large among Chinese and English speaking, because it's actually a really interesting series. Basically, there's like 2 versions of it. I don't know if I got the actual version, but I heard I listened to the actual like visual like the audio book version of it. And it's a good story. It's basically a guy who got stuck in another world, reincarnated into that world, if that's what I think it is. The Western fantasy and Ronald Chinese author Catfish loves driving. Okay. So what is the Lord of Mysteries? Let me see if I could find it. And it's a wave of steam and machinery. Yeah, which was kind of what I was introduced to. Firearms, cannons, battleship, airships, different machines, potions. Yeah, that's basically what it is. From what I heard from the visual audio book that I read, that I had from Pocket FM, because they previewed it on Pocket FM, but they had different names. And yes, he called himself the Fool in the story. Because I had the Pocket FM. I listened to the Pocket FM audio story. You can look it up. It's on Pocket FM. But it's an app that popped up recently. Like, Pocket FM is kind of a... Like, they have their own, like, little app that you can go in. But, of course, now they're trying to, you know, add in, like, you can listen to... like, you can listen to it, and they have all these Lord of Mysteries was it, let me see if I could find it. And I actually listened to the Lord of Mysteries book, and it's actually a really popular, like, for example, My Vampire System. I have a feeling they're going to make a manga adaptation of that. And there's also let's see if I can find it, because they do have a lot of like audio books on this thing that are very popular among them. Like, for example, I actually listened to My Vampire System, which I thought was an okay story. God's Eye, I haven't listened to it yet. I know that they're trying to make people like listen, and because they get more money from advertising this, but now they're trying to do the whole gold coin thing to listen to new episodes per. They're trying to be like Spotify. But Lord of Mysteries, I would say, is a pretty interesting story. It kind of borrows a lot of like, there's magic, but the magic in that series is kind of different. Basically, the way they have to unlock it via like they call themselves what do they call themselves? They don't actually cast spells. They think it or something like that, or they have to have like these levels, like they have to drink potions in order to unlock their abilities. Because it takes like, they have to take this like practice and everything, and from what I understand, the main character joins like this group of people that have the same abilities, but they're like a religious order, and that religious order fights another religious order that is against them, trying to destroy the world. And it's an interesting story, though, for what it's worth. And Lords of Mysteries kind of like, it does have like the mystery aspect of it, but at the same time, the guy's trying to figure it out, because he kind of wished that he went to have a luck, but he kind of ended up in another world by accident, and somehow somehow ends up in that world because he wanted to cast it. He cast this spell, and he thought that this spell would grant him luck, but he accidentally ends up in this other world. And of course, he ends up doing the whole. He becomes the Fool, which is his alter ego. Part of this, he created this secret group by himself with the help of the other three that he met that had the same abilities as him. They were called I forgot what they're called, overbound or something, like outbound people. I forgot what they're called, but it was an interesting, like, I would say Lord of Mysteries is a pretty good, interesting anime to look up, especially the manga. For what it's worth, I would probably recommend listening to the manga first beforehand. Jesus. It's not like Eminence of Shadow, but it's somewhat like that in a way, which is the Lords of Mystery. Yeah, it does have like the potions, because that's the way they unlock powers. Divination, which the main character of the story does have. Curses, yeah, there are curses where they try to Hangman. Oh yeah, that's one of the. That's like he formed the group called the what was it called? Oh yeah. The tarot card, which is they were a group of people that call themselves the tarot card. And the first members was the Hangman, the Fool, and I forgot the other one was the World. I don't know if that was that or the Priestess. But it was interesting. It was an interesting story. You probably would like it. But you got to listen to the audio. Although the audio version is totally different from the novel itself, but they had to adapt it to an English audience, which I kind of realized it was, because there's web novel. Web novel actually has like the written book by it, because this is like a Chinese version of it, but they kind of called him like reincarnated as Klein Moretti, which is what happened. An alternative Victorian era world where he sees the world filled with machinery, cannons, dreadnoughts, airships, different machines, and as well as potions, divination, and hexes. Yeah, there is magic in this, and sealed artifacts. It's a great story, but it's still ongoing. It's still ongoing as a novel series, and I really like it. It definitely has an interesting story to tell, and I hope they make this into an anime. It definitely has like the sci-fi horror, and yeah, there is some horror to it, but it's not as bad as most people believe. But as far as I know, the Lord of Mysteries is actually a really good story, and I hope the adaptation will do well for itself, because I would like to watch the story, because it definitely is a good story. Even though I only listened to the audio from Pocket FM. It was made popular because of Pocket FM. But it's totally different. It's a totally different version than what the novel had. So keep that in mind. They had to translate it differently than what Pocket FM did. And Pocket, it's not the official, like, I know that it's not the official translation, but I kind of listened to the audio version of it, and it was okay. Okay, so unveiled Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 complication film English dub trailer. Might watch that one. Yeah, there's so much stuff that I would watch. But as far as I know, the Lords of Shadow I would recommend watching. It might be a good anime. I might check it out. I don't even know if my friends are online. Yeah, because I'm just chilling right now. I'm just doing whatever I can because the whole situation of VTubers and everything else going to war is kind of silly, and it's getting to the breaking point that even Kirsha getting attacked over the whole issue about the shooting. I don't think Kirsha did anything wrong. It's kind of like what they did with PewDiePie. They're trying to frame this as PewDiePie's fault, like always, when really, in reality, it's not Kirsha's fault. It's just people that are kind of, like, this person is obviously autistic and was bullied a lot and was groomed a lot into the whole trans femininity thing. And it's obvious this person was just crazy. And I kind of do feel bad for this person, but at the same time, this person murdered people. And I don't feel sorry for that person's... I just hope this person learns that doing that is wrong. And they realize it's wrong. If not, we failed as a society. Okay, Dan and Ann Season 2 anime theatrical screening earned $5 million in the US. Wow. And I actually watched that film, and I did watch it. It was actually an okay film. But I'm not going to put out any spoilers for you guys because the only thing I can tell you, it ended in a cliffhanger, which kind of promotes Season 2. That's basically what it is they're doing with this anime. The banished court magician aims to become the strongest anime cast. Let's see what else. Let's see. There's not much going on, but if you want to bring up something, go ahead and bring it up on chat, because I would like to listen to what you guys have to say, and we'll check it out together and see what it is. Because I like to hear what people think, and it's kind of funny how this happens. Okay, let's look at this video right now, because I want to see what your reaction to this video is.
Wait, is this official? What? This is actually real? It's not fan-made? What is this guy version of Avril Lavigne singing with like a really whack-ass lyric? Chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard, finding trouble, never looking too hard. Well, back at class, they never taught us this. Some things you gotta learn, hit or miss. I'm going to go mosh myself.
Yeah, that is the English opening of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it was, I forgot which one. Oh yeah, GX. I liked the GX version of it, but there's like, this is, the lyrics are so ass. The melody was okay. Yeah. Yes, Twitch partner, world's first pro horror game JRPG lover, sponsored by August RGO, host of For Business. Like, you can follow her if you want, TKN 081001. Sorry. You can follow her there. This is her. The thing is, like, GX was okay. I thought it was an okay show. But I don't even understand why people do that. Okay. Let me see. William Gibson, the award-winning author of Neuromonster, Mona Lisa's Overdrive. I gotta listen to that one. I gotta go read that one. Mona Lisa's Overdrive. Oh God, the K-pop Demon Hunters, the new film. Oh God, no.
Men's? Oh.
Oh, wow. Did you really follow us in here? I knew they would. That one's always looking at me.
No, we're not. You think we're just gonna let you steal our fans? You're gonna have to fight us for them. Yeah, keep your hands off our Hunmoon.
We're not here to fight. They are.
Water demons.
Oh, great. My favorite.
Get rid of the hunters. Then you can eat all the souls you want.
Don't let this turn you off.
Oh God. That's funny.
Jews rock! I love Jews!
Yeah, that's kind of true. I get the weirdest thing. Paulina's voice empowered by Donkey Kong. Unleash Wild Side with the power of the... Oh God. Kong Bonanza. That might be an interesting game. They hate us and they want to ruin our hobby. You can't be tolerant of these people, just can't. That's why I'm acting the way I do. There's no middle ground with something like that thinks like this. The reason I call for over-sexualized designs isn't BC. I hate female characters. I do because I actually care that they are not used in a way that please the male audience. I do because I like these characters and I don't want them to be done dirty. Why? Jesus. Yeah, I tend to have like a lot of like crap on Twitter. Oh, let's see what Renji has. Let's see who this is. Oh God. Anna Valens deactivated her account. I have seen. Oh yeah, this is Kuya Renji's little thing 3 hours ago. Too many white queer folks are perfectly okay with the ignorant racist rhetoric and are completely unaware of their microaggressions of subtle racism. I don't know the signs. When we point out the racism, we are so quickly dismissed and told we're overreacting. That's a huge problem. If you mess up, it's absolutely okay. Just admit you messed up. And we're ignorant. An apology, genuine one, goes a long way. Demanding a genuine apology means you won't forgive the person on this whole situation. Now, this is what's going on. The fact that Anna Valens is trying to go after Pippa, I hope that the Pippa support article is worth it, Valens. Yeah. I hate to bring it to you, but being mad at political fascist people in the VTuber space, feeling sad and innocent protesters who could have gotten shot, being disappointed by someone defending a bigoted VTuber. Those are too many emotions to handle at once. If anyone needs me, something, just DM me and add me on Discord. What AB has shown us is white queers are still white in the end. Reducing Pippa to just a comedian and shock entertainer shows the clear lack. And this is the thing. This is what Anti-Violence's article did. It did the opposite of what we would expect. This is the point. Was the point that Anti-Violence wrote the article to attack Pippa. He clouded it in like her. I like her, but here's how she has misunderstood it. It was an attack against Pippa for her jokes in the past to go at Kirsha too. These people are political activists. They are very aware and educated in defamatory works while trying to appear innocent. Yeah, they're trying to frame this as they're the good guys. Trust us, bro. We're the good guys. That's kind of what they're doing. That's the thing I don't like about it, is like, I kind of agree with his point. It does kind of show that they're trying to appear as the good guys, the moral of it all. And the delicious infighting, waiting for Anna to apology towards these idiots, trying to get them on their side again. The circular firing squad is my favorite part of this cycle. Is this a ploy to try to make us defend balance? Winnicula was one of the recharge justifying Pickamee's harassment. Oh yeah, that is her. You're right. The moral of the story is yeah, because these people are not going to show why is it a good thing is not to bend the knee to them more and more. Imagine being mad at apolitical people who don't want to be who want to be pissed off all the time because they let people politically standing run their lives and emotions. The left have a lot of conflict of views and more radical this group is. Like, the thing is, guys, I'm just going to point out to you, this is the reason why this is going to turn into a conflict within the internet. Okay, why is this person racist? Why is this person being mean? Why is this person doing horrible things? And all I'm seeing from Pippa's just making fun of stuff. Like, I think that's what happened. People are kind of upset about this. Pippa. This is the Pippa that everyone fears. This is what everyone fears. This is Pippa.
Introducing.
So we'll go ahead and try to go to the place
40,000 built-in.
It's kind of like Walmart for Canada.
Nobody's here yet. Oh my god, I've wondered.
You don't know what the gritty is?
Like advanced, like the name?
Yeah, kinda. Like,
yeah.
It's like Walmart for Canada, but they actually have a bakery.
Did you hear about the Whip Nene guy?
He's like in jail for 20 years.
Rip.
What did he do? Shot and killed someone or something?
He shot and killed his cousin for uploading pictures of his butthole.
What is this? Okay, never mind. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like his cousin's asshole, or probably his own?
No, his own.
Ass. Why did his cousin have pictures of his asshole?
I don't know.
Is this like a Kanye situation?
What? What do you mean?
Kanye performed oral sex on his cousin?
Is that real though?
I don't know.
Fact is stranger than
believe all victims. Celsius, like, is that like 100 Celsius is boiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's freezing.
Way more.
something funny, Pippa?
Like saying slurs.
I've been reading up on you, you furry rabbit frick. Your hair looks like Pepto-Bismol, and your drip looks like a war crime. A second point is about to hit the Pippa. You understand? What the hell? Your ears are fake. You're not a real rabbit. I have never seen your ears twitch left or twitch right. They have no sensation, they have no neurons, and they got no motor functions. Those ears are faker than my tits.
Your ears are real though, and that's why you're a furry.
You want to know something funny?
That's why you're a furry.
You're gonna come out of the.
But all I'm saying is if the government one day comes to take your guns away, if you have a 3D printer, alright, I'm just saying, invest in a 3D printer maybe.
You're gonna come out of the.
But all I'm saying is if the government one day comes to take your guns away, if you have a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Well, there you think, $5. Hey, Pips, I'm in Walmart. Pick me a dinner boost. Also, phone volume is way up, so...
Attention, Walmart shoppers! I am a registered.
Okay.
Please stand 10 meters back. I repeat, I am a registered child predator. Please stand back. I have a bomb.
Well, there you think, $5. Hey, Pips.
Oh God, she really had to go and ruin that person's life.
Pipkin Pippa! I'm coming to kill you!
In Phase World?
No! At your house! In real life! I'm going to stalk her and become obsessed with her and wear her makeup and her mold and use her live 2D as a coat like the ancient Fox girls did!
Yeah, that's just a joke. Nothing very serious about that one.
How did Pippa from Phase Connect end up on the news? An armed man was arrested at the Nashville's No Kings protest. It so happened on his weaponry that he had many different scribbles on it. Some of his Oshi, Pippa. And some people have been sharing his Twitter account where he shared his Oshi's Kirch and Pippa, among many other ideologies. And it seems to have the internet in a bit of a tizzy about VTubers and they are a bad influence on people. All the communities this man was a part of, I don't think VTubing was by far the worst. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like if you like these kind of videos or you're a VTuber fan.
I think the guy was gay.
And let me know how crazy you think this is down below.
Autistic.
How did Pippa from Phase Connect
That's what I think he was.
How did Pippa from Phase Connect end up on the news? An armed man was arrested.
Yeah, so this is the thing.
And once I move into a new place, I can,
You sound stupid.
RuneScape, I wouldn't...
The original voice actor? Yeah, they took her out back and shot her. Why aren't you cute like that anymore?
Majestic.
What happened to your girly voice? I don't know. I think it's been a result of just talking and yelling so much. I think it's like done damage to my throat. And then I also think losing 3 teeth has made it very difficult to speak just on like in an articulate way. You were never articulate. I'm gonna kill you!
And once I move into a new place, I can,
You sound stupid.
RuneScape, I wouldn't...
The original voice actor? Yeah, they took her out back and shot her. Why aren't you cute like that anymore?
Majestic.
What happened to your girly voice? I don't know. I think it's been a result of just talking and yelling so much. I think it's like done damage to my throat. And then I also think losing 3 teeth has made it very difficult to speak just on like in a...
Yeah.
Hello, Nya. Today starts my first day at Phase Connect. Please be kind to me. My name is Pipkin Pipponia. God made me. That's it. This is my tail. I like it. This is my face when I'm angry. Ah! Lord, thank you. Do you like slurs? Literally, how could you even ask me that? That's really inappropriate. And I think there's no place for hate in my community. Please educate yourselves. You guys are my little pip-hoggers. I think I'm like getting parasocial for my chat. Hello, Nya. Today starts my
she
first
parodies
day at
herself
Phase Connect.
as one of
Please
those
be kind to
people
me.
too. Because it was true, like...
Hello, Nya. Today starts...
Like that's Pippa, in case you're wondering.
Wait, Lumi's like a grandma. I would like to be resuscitated, personally.
Just to see what it's like, or?
No, I like being alive. Just. She kind of hesitated there. Am I crazy? Or did she kind of hesitate there? She like hesitated and she like...
Yeah.
We're playing! Oh my Bazooka! Pretty Derby Party Dash. Stop! Stop! No! Okay, but I'm really good at dodgeball demolition. Oh, okay, online lag. Online lag, chat. Online lag. I'm not being racist! It was a horse! They call me Pierce Brosnan the way I be feeding my waifus. Oh my god. Tapia! First place, motherfucker! Guess your game didn't do shit! Guess you're still at the bottom! Guess you're still trying to come up! But you never will!
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like people just like, this is her.
Chat, can I be kind of schizo? I think global warming is real, but it's made by the US government or some other government. I think it's real. I think global warming is real. It's just that it's entirely man-made to scare people. It's okay if you don't agree. Just think about it. Chat, can I be kind of schizo? I think
Yeah, she's kind of conspiratorial with her stuff.
Smithy, thank you. I think cuteness is more than just physical appearance. Includes your behavior, and on that scale, you're 10. I'm not a 10 out of 10. I am a f***ing idiot who gets like very panicky and will like walk into like signs, not in a cute way, but in like the sad, pathetic kind of way. Like, oh, I'm a f***ing idiot. Oh, so I've forgotten how to walk, so now I'm shuffling like a fucking moron. It's not cute. It's retard. Smithy, thank you. I think cuteness is more.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is pretty much what you would expect from her. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because this is all her content. You could look up her content, even if you disagree with her on a lot of stuff. Like she'll say this.
Meta, bust rate Frank again.
Last time you got a replacement Frank at Fins and Friends.
Jen may say you're cute. That's because girls are legally obligated to say everyone is cute. That's like an obligation thing. They don't mean it. No girl will ever mean it. Whenever a girl compliments another girl, they don't mean it. They are lying because if they don't say anything, they look like a bitch. And if they don't say like the right thing, quote unquote, they look like a bitch. They are liars. Women are liars. Like the girls like, oh no, you're cute. It's not even worth engaging with because it's the most asinine garbage conversation that will ever happen because it's literally somebody hard stuck with the like moral obligation of being like, oh yeah, you're so cute or whatever and if you disagree, right, first of all, you look like an asshole for even like trying to get like a real answer or whatever the second of all, like if you press like crazy. At all, like even like dismissively, like oh no like it's fine, like I know the truth, it's fine, you don't like, no, it's fine. Then it becomes like they have to like, it's my moral obligation to try and convince. You don't have to try and convince anybody, man. Just shut the fuck up. Just like anime. Drop it, dude. Just drop it.
Harajuku fashion store.
Oh god. And that's pretty much what goes on with Pippa. Like, she just says oddball, off the cuff crap that people seem to agree with. Do you agree with her? That's pretty much what she takes. Her takes are kind of out of this world. Some people may not agree with her on it, but it's like, you think she's this ulterior motive villain that you kind of come up with, that you think she's going to become the next PewDiePie. And all PewDiePie does is like, he basically just promotes charity. He spends time with his family. Like, he's just making videos of his family, making jokes about certain things, making fun of things because he thinks it's funny. And it's like, to me, a lot of the stuff that's funny is just ridiculous because, yeah, the way I see it, it's just ridiculous. But people are starting a conflict with Pippa Pipkin, demanding that she should apologize for her. What is she gonna do? She's gonna probably tell you to fuck off. But of course, under the pressure of her so-called group that she works for, they don't want any conflict. But unfortunately, conflict will happen. And of course, these people are like, she's pretty much Anna Balance is trying to radicalize this whole situation against Pippa by saying, hey, Pippa may not be because I believe Pippa is not responsible for this shooter. I believe that this is kind of the problem with this person. I believe this person had a really bad experience, even growing up, being made fun of, being directed in the wrong direction. That's the problem that I have with this. I do believe that this person had experienced a really bad situation with themselves, and I believe that they had experienced a really bad situation. So anyways, I gotta get out of here, guys. You guys take care. Thank you for watching, because I do believe this guy was taken in a bad direction in his life, and that direction was he kind of took it to the extreme, to the point that he was basically radicalizing himself. He was he was RPing in a fucking VR chat as a woman, and that's like autogynephilia. Like, I kind of agree with Kirsha on this one. But as far as I know, the conflict with the internet is not over, and it will still continue on and on, because these people will not give up on anything. They will continue to, as a radicalized sex cult, will do anything to basically suck dick. That is all. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace.